Welcome, heroes. Welcome to Unsung Heroes. My name is Mike Mercadal. I host an in-studio podcast called Zeros on Heroes, where I interview people about their heroes. But this is Unsung Heroes, where you guys get to be the heroes. Woo, I almost ran out of air on that one. I've been going through some throat issues, and this show is a struggle to do every week. Guys, who wants to be the people's champ? The people's champ will be chosen tonight. That's right. WrestleMania is this weekend. We were capitalizing on pop culture phenomenon to pick a theme for this week's show, and guess what? It's wrestling. But it's also going to be movies that feature wrestlers as actors. Now, there's the big ones. There's The Rock, which is the most, I guess he's like the highest paid actor of all time. And I'll never forget when he came out in WWF, they hated him. People hated that motherfucker when he came out. Booing Rocky. They were like booing him. Booing Rocky Maivia. And then he came out and then they changed his fucking gimmick and all that shit. And then they would get, he's arguably, we can discuss it when the guests come up, the best wrestler on the mic. Right? Could that argument be made that there's nobody on the mic that's better? Yeah. Look, I'm not going to say he's the most electrifying man in all of sports entertainment. I mean, he's the most electrifying man still to this day. Is there anybody that has beat him since then? They tried to force Roman Reigns down everybody's throat, and people did not have it. The Let's Get Ready to Rumble guy? He's not a wrestler. But so one of the things we did is if you follow me at Mike Mercadal or at Zeros on Heroes on social media, whenever we do an episode like this, that's right, we're breaking out the brackets, baby. We're doing brackets, and I asked everyone to submit their favorite movies with wrestlers in them, and I got all the suggestions. I pumped them into this app. Did you put your name? Yeah, you got it. We did that. We did all that. So everybody who's going to get a chance to come up and assigned at random by this app, you get to choose between the two movies, which gets to move on to the next round, March Madness style. And at the end, we will determine the people's champ based on how good they were in a movie. That is exactly what's going to happen. What do you say we get our first hero up on stage this evening? Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for PJ Williams. Right here. Yes, welcome, PJ. I feel like I should get better. Who had the best walk-up music? In the Shawn Michaels?
I can just barely remember anyone's walk-up music.
I remember there was one that I really liked when Eddie Guerrero came out and he was Mamacita. And then it would start playing like Lowrider and shit.
I remember that, yeah.
Al Snow. Oh, man. PJ, welcome to the show. Welcome back. It's been a minute since we've seen you. Thank you for being here. Live at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Are you, I have to ask because I am not a modern wrestling fan. I enjoyed wrestling at a very specific time in my life. Do you still actively watch wrestling?
No, specific time in my life too. Like I stopped watching wrestling around like 1999.
99?
Yeah, like I think it was still WWF when I stopped watching.
I don't remember when it switched. Do you remember what made you lose interest, or were you just like you grew up?
I didn't lose. I mean, after the fact, I lost interest, but my brother was born, and my mom had a bizarre fear that I was gonna like do, because around that time I think there were like stories about kids like fighting, stuff like that. So she thought I was gonna take this newborn. I mean, yeah, I was like 8, but still. I was gonna take this newborn child and just throw him around the house and be like, "I'm the Rock." Like,
yeah, there was actually that. It's really sad, but there was a news story where that did happen. Like some guy did like a DDT on her sister, and she broke her neck.
Yeah,
or something.
No, like, my mom's super overbearing, so she's like, "No more wrestling." And it's the funniest thing because my grandma really loved wrestling around the same time, so she would call me during SmackDown and be like, "Are you watching?" And I'm like, "No."
Hey, man.
She's like, "The Rock is fucking people up," and I'm like, "I know,
I can't watch it anymore."
I can't watch Grandma.
Your daughter says that I know.
Pretty much, it's so crazy. Like your grandma's calling you and going, "Yo, are you seeing this?" And you're like,
"Yeah." No. I genuinely enjoyed like that's one of the things that people don't talk about. Like before like wrestling became like corporate WWE wrestling. It was just like a local show that people would go to, and little old ladies fucking love wrestling.
I don't know what it is. They just love watching dudes
Fucking
hit each
love it.
other.
And look, I get it, men in tights and guys in Speedos and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, I am of Latino heritage, and we had my great grandfather. He used to watch religiously La Lucha Libre, which was the Mexican wrestling from back in the day. Which when he was a kid, that was like their superheroes.
Yeah.
El Santo was this big Mexican. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Rest in peace, El Santo. But he was like a mythical, legendary figure. Yeah. So it's weird how wrestling's always been around. No, they are not making fun of him. They are super respectful of Nacho Libre. Also, honorable mention, Nacho Libre. I was mentioned, but I was like, yeah, It was mentioned, but not enough people mentioned it to get it onto the list. So
were there any wrestlers in that movie?
It was not. You want to know what else was not mentioned to get onto the brackets? The top six, the Sweet 16, the Sweet 16. I didn't have time to compile the list, but another one that didn't make it, Blade 2 and Blade 3, which had Triple H. It had a whole bunch of fucking wrestlers in it. I was like really
focused on Ron Perlman for some reason in Blade 2. I was just like, what do you
Ron Perlman was dope in Blade 2.
I feel like he was kind of corny. I don't know.
He's that guy though.
I guess.
He also had the guns with the knives on the
he was super distracting. It was like the sunglasses, the jacket. I was like, did you pick your own wardrobe?
Did you look at everybody else in that movie? That whole movie is just wardrobe choices. The whole movie, it's a wardrobe movie about vampires.
Well, it really says something about Ron Perlman's outfit that he stuck out in a movie of leather jackets.
Yeah. He had a very exciting. Do you have a favorite wrestler turned actor?
Super lazy answer would probably The Rock.
He's the biggest, right? Like,
yeah,
would be
he's
hard
the most
pressed.
visible. I respect John Cena's hustle though. Like he does that straight to DVD shit. Like nobody.
Well, he's come out once John Cena
Marines
started.
You just told me. I thought there were like 2 or 3. Yeah, the Marine movies. I thought there were like 2 or 3.
He's not in all of them though.
Oh yeah, they switched to someone else.
Yeah,
now.
John Cena's doing his thing where once he started doing comedy, like he did. What's the one with
Trainwreck?
Trainwreck.
He was really good in that,
and he was fucking hilarious in there. Doing
I was thinking wrestlers action movies. Like John Cena and Trainwreck. That was really like just fun to see him just like be like, yeah, he's a funny dude. Fuck.
You want to know? Another movie that didn't make the cut. MacGruber did not make the cut. Do you remember when MacGruber he assembles who here? If you have not seen MacGruber in this room, you're doing yourself a disservice. MacGruber is one of the funniest, craziest movies you'll ever see. It's a genius, not recognized in its time, and it deserves to be watched. And there's a scene where he compiles like this super team of super team to go invade, get revenge on somebody. Yeah. And it was a bunch of wrestlers. And at one point, like the Big Show starts making out with another dude like out of nowhere. It's bizarre, and it was super funny, and then I don't want to spoil it, but there's so much that happens in that one scene.
You're the second person I know that's like enthusiastically gone to bat for MacGruber.
MacGruber is one of those where you have to go in expecting this movie to
be shitty,
not be shitty, but just be very weird.
Okay,
it's gonna come at you from all.
Same thing I was told. My friend was like, "Yeah, just smoke like you don't have nothing to do, smoke a shitload of weed, and then watch MacGruber." And I was like, "All right."
Yeah, I would say get high in some form or another, and watch MacGruber. Right. Okay. Are you ready, PJ, to make some tough decisions?
Pick a flick. Let's do this.
You're going to pick a couple. Here we go.
Oh, shit.
Starting with...
All right, one quick question. If I haven't seen one of them, how do I go about this?
You're going to figure it out.
I might ask for like a quick synopsis, maybe.
No.
All right.
This choice is entirely the person in the hot seat right now. And if you've never seen it, we're gonna get.
I don't think I've done the bracket.
Yeah. So yeah, you can.
See,
there's no wrong answers, but
by name.
Seriously, don't fuck up. There's no wrong answers.
I hate that. Let's do this. So
you have to choose between. Now this is actually a really fun, like double feature that I would like to watch in the near future. The Rundown with The Rock and Be Cool with The Rock.
Fuck.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun. That's like a good afternoon
Oh no,
cable
those are
movie
both
combo.
good movies, and that's why this is an unfair situation.
You've seen both.
I've seen both, but I remember the rundown a little better in that scene where they get like high or whatever off that fruit or something.
Yes,
it's really
that's
fucking
right.
funny. Yeah, but Be Cool. I'm gonna go rundown because there was more of the rock in that. Be Cool was like an ensemble thing.
Okay, so the choice. Oh yeah, it was the original name. Wait,
I'm gonna go rundown.
Ladies and gentlemen, rundown. Advancing into the next round. Be Cool
William Scott, The
has
Rock.
been kicked out and removed from the thing. If you could recast any Oscar-winning movie, any like classic cinema with a wrestler, who would you pick, and what movie, what role would you have him replace?
Oh my fucking god, no. Okay,
you do you understand the question?
I fully understand the question.
Okay,
my answer is a twofer, but it's like similar in nature. Either Clerks or Friday, and it would be The Rock and Stone Cold in. Like they are friends and they're stuck together. Like, can you just imagine? Just like Stone Cold is like, "You ain't got no job, you ain't got shit to do today. I'm gonna get you drunk, man." And he just like pours a ton of beer on The Rock. Like, I'd watch the fuck out of those movies.
Which one would be Dante and which one would be Randall?
I want to say The Rock would be Randall because he would just be annoying the shit out of Stone Cold, you know?
Stone Cold's the straight man who's not even supposed to be here
That's
today.
how I always felt like when I would watch their rivalry growing up. It was kind of like Stone Cold was like, "Come on, I'm tough, I'm serious," and The Rock was like, "But I'm super cool to look at. Fuck you." Like,
yeah. It was definitely like the
tough guy versus the superstar, basically.
It was like the bully versus the jock.
Kinda, yeah.
Like the popular kid.
Because pretty much everyone I knew that really loved Stone Cold, they were like, "Yeah, I'm tough, Stone Cold," and I'm just like, The Rock, you can't take your eyes off him, and he can fight. Like, what more do you want?
Stone Cold was definitely the redneck's choice at a certain point. It was,
he was bald and he loved beer. What else?
100%. And then, so they're going to be the new Clerks, or what was the other one?
Or Friday.
Or Friday.
So they're out on the porch just chilling
in South Central.
Yeah,
because I would love to see The Rock and Stone Cold in South Central sitting on a porch.
But the craziest part is that Debo could still play Debo because he's a wrestler and he's as big as both of them. Like, that's the only realistic situation. Tiny Lister. Yep.
Yeah.
It's the only realistic situation where it's like, because who are you going to send to beat up The Rock and Stone Cold?
Look,
maybe the Big Show.
Yeah, that's true. And like, I could definitely see like a buddy cop thing going between the two characters. They are now like The Rock has become the giant marquee spotlight, The Rock, and then Stone Cold has become like a podcaster. Like he's like definitely mellowed out. Oh yeah, he's got it. Yeah, I guess so.
He's doing his thing.
I don't know why I'm poo-pooing it, but
no, he's doing his thing.
Yeah, I definitely like it. PJ, thank you so much for being here. Is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
No, just be cool, everybody.
Be cool. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for PJ Williams. I'm trying to find the Stone Cold Steve Austin glass. Where the fuck is it? Come on. Is it this? Oh, why is it not on here? Oh, damn it. Never mind. A round of applause for PJ Williams, everybody. Yes! Coming up, you're going to put that right on that chair. That microphone you're going to have to turn on the other seat. You're going to hang out and be my co-host. For ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ben Gordon. Not here. Like him, he's not here. He's dead. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Igor Martinez. He's not here either. Good God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, he's actually present. Even huger round of applause for Hendon Gillen. Yes. You did it. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Brendan, I have to ask, thank you very much. Are you a current fan? No. Okay.
But we are considering getting into it.
Now, what does that wait? So you're considering getting into it. What do
wrestling?
Yes. As wrestlers, you're gonna try out. You're gonna do a little workout.
like as fans.
Learn how to take a bump. Learn how to spot.
I mean, sure. There's definitely like a class on that somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
Like you can do trapeze class, you can do improv class, and you can do wrestling flips class.
If there has to be,
Oh, yeah.
Benel Jermos is doing. There
I want
has
to do
to
it
be.
as like a hobbyist with like a bunch of like bored housewives.
Any backyard in
and there's
Central
wine.
Florida.
It's like a sip and paint studio, but you're like sip and flip.
Yes.
Yeah, and you like get a nice Riesling, and then you also like learn how to suplex somebody.
I would absolutely go to a class where it like just like all of a sudden you show up and instead of yoga class, it's like, all right, everybody, we're gonna learn how to take hits
Y'all
and
are
take
just,
chops to the chest, and then all these yoga moms have to figure it out.
Or also it's a lot of yoga moms and like their 7-year-old kids.
Yes.
Why not?
And you get to flip them over.
Yeah.
Y'all
then
are
they just, like,
describing
drop kick you.
But there has to-
backyard wrestling with more structure, though. That's all you're describing.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
How come there aren't any children's little league wrestling leagues? Nobody knows. Oh, never mind. There are.
There are?
But like,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
sure. He's an expert.
no. But to follow up my question, John, are we going to that thing this weekend?
We'll talk more later.
We're on the fence about going to like a wrestling match at a queer venue hosted by drag queens.
What?
That's a party.
Drag and drop kicks?
John will talk about it when he gets on the mic more.
What?
But yeah, no. So we're
Fuck you,
we're
I wanna
considering
go.
that.
I need
and
this
then,
to be a kung
and then
fu
I guess
screenplay.
getting
Write
all the
this
way
shit.
into wrestling,
Yeah.
like
Good Lord, that sounds super fun.
it's like a long-running soap opera.
It
is like one of the
absolutely
longest serialized fictional stories in modern American media.
is.
Sorry. Yeah, I knew that was gonna ruffle some feathers.
But
You don't
let's
listen
see,
to
how do I
him. Don't
approach
listen
this?
to him.
This is like talking about Santa when there's a kid in the room. It's like, how much can I say? Does your kid know? No, but
I mean, I've seen the thing where somebody grabs your dick, but your dick is too powerful and they fly across the ring. I think there might be an
Yes.
element of stagecraft. It could be witchcraft. I could be wrong.
I do think
That could all be very real.
I have never seen this match.
yeah, I've seen it.
I've only seen like the
Wow.
There was a guy who was fighting an invisible person. Oh no, he was fighting a blow up doll, and it's some of the best shit I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. It's so good.
No, like I
It's
respect
so good.
the artistry
That's what
of wrestling.
I miss it. I feel like I would love a
the
time when
shirtlessness.
wrestling was not televised, or like those like in-house those house shows that they do where they're not on TV.
Oh, like hipster wrestling
No, like the WWE.
before it sold out to the fucking lamestream media.
yeah, the lame. Yeah,
What are you asking for, Mike?
No, before it was like the WWE is like a monopoly of. It used to be like local shows, like territories. Like there was.
Remember when it was the WWF and then the World Wildlife Federation sued them?
Yep,
That
that's
was
right.
great.
Holy shit.
They're like, "Fuck you, we had it
And
first."
they had this whole ad campaign about get the F out, and it was like you got sued by a panda.
yeah,
Like you're not the tough guys here.
yeah, you lost to a
You
panda.
lost to
I
animals.
still think Vince McMahon, though, when I see the little panda in the WWF. So it doesn't. Every time I see a tote bag, I'm like, and then I see the panda, and I'm like, oh, you got me, you fuckers.
Oh, bummer. Brendan, do you have a favorite wrestler turned actor?
No, not really. I mean, I guess also The Rock.
Also, The Rock. That's
You're gonna
fine.
get a lot of the Rock.
I feel like
He was
that's
in Moana. He was in Jumanji. Welcome to the
about
Jungle.
Moana.
Jumanji, Welcome to the
Was
Jungle.
that on the
he
list?
was in 2 Welcome to the Jungle movies. The rundown was supposed to be called Welcome to the Jungle, and then Jumanji was literally
Actually was
subtitled
called
Welcome, to the Jungle.
Was that on the brackets list?
Jumanji?
Welcome to the Jungle. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
No, it is not.
Should
That
have
did not
been.
make it. There's so many that didn't make it.
That's my number one.
And also, like, I didn't get a lot of replies on this one because I guess people were like, "What?
Well,
What is?
I
What
saw
actors?"
it often, and the only one I could think of was Mr. Nanny.
Yeah,
And I was like, I don't know if we're talking about Hulk Hogan anymore.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You weren't the only one that thought about Mr. Nanny.
Well, because it's like we were, I saw that as a child.
Yeah, because that was the time. There's also like the game plan with The Rock that when he was still The Rock, the Tooth
I
Fairy.
was gonna say, did anyone put the Tooth Fairy?
Those didn't get mentioned at all. Like there's
Journey to the Center of the Earth? Journey to the Center of the Earth 2?
oh
I think there
wow.
were 2 of those, right?
Fuck, those are. Brendan Fraser was in the first one.
Wasn't The Rock? No, Scorpion King, not the Mummy.
Not
Scorpion King.
not the Mummy. Yeah,
wrong
yeah.
Brendan Fraser property.
Yeah. Scorpion King, and then he was super CGI'd in The Mummy 2. Do you remember in the end of The Mummy 2?
No, I haven't seen any of the mummies ever.
Oh, The Mummy 1 is still holds up. It's still good. It's very good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Was
definitely.
The Rock in it though? I don't think so.
Brendan Fraser's in it. In peak Brendan Fraser. Huh?
What?
Brendan Fraser's a wrestler? He could have been.
Oh,
he
okay.
could have been.
I was
Yeah.
really
He would've
hoping that
been
he was a
great.
wrestler, and we could have like quickly thrown like George of the Jungle into the brackets and like many other Brendan Fraser movies.
No, but we are gonna have to make a choice. Are you ready?
Oh yeah. No,
you
I'm ready
to
for
make
this.
a
I'm
pick?
excited for this. It's my favorite
Now,
part.
This one, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised how many people mention this, but you have to choose between. We mentioned it before we started rolling. Guardians of the Galaxy with Batista
Oh right.
and Man on the Moon with Jerry the King Lawler, about Andy Kaufman. No, I think we're reading way too much into the qualifications. I just wanted people to name fun movies. I did not plan on having to rules lawyer whether or not Man in the Moon would be allowed in the thing. But Man in the Moon was mentioned by a few people because it was when Andy Kaufman was wrestling Jerry the King Lawler and in the 70s and all that stuff. And he was. Did you see that movie with Jim
No,
Carrey?
I haven't seen that movie.
Ooh. I should have asked you what it was about and not told you.
No, I know what it's about. I knew what it was about. I knew that was like Jim Carrey trying to get an Oscar and all that. You know,
It was Jim Carrey's like he didn't even get nominated. That was
he's never been nominated,
no.
That's a damn shame.
and he's a great actor, and he's
it was
never
for
been
the Truman
nominated.
Show or something. There was one that he was like pushing real hard for.
Truman Show he didn't get. You can look up when he presented an award at the Oscars, and he
Yeah.
walked up and he's like, "I'm here to present an award, and that's all I'm here to do." And he talks about like how it must be so hard to be a nominee and all these things. It's very good because he's very bitter on
Yeah.
stage.
He's lost his mind, right? Is he crazy now?
No, he's doing.
But his
that's,
drawings
no,
are amazing.
He's acting. That's a Michel Gondry show.
I hear mixed perspective in the crowd. I believe you. Yeah. I heard.
Yeah, sure. He might be a little unhinged, but also
I did hear his Showtime show is really good. What's it called?
happy, right?
No, Kidding.
Kidding. Oh,
Kidding.
kidding. Same thing.
Happy is the one with Christopher Maloney.
Okay.
But you have to choose between.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna choose Guardians of the Galaxy because it had more people on more planets.
More. The criteria
Man on the
is
moon,
yours.
one person, one planet. Not even a planet.
The
One
criteria
person
is,
on one floating orb.
That's right.
Guardians of the Galaxy had more.
It's a moon versus a galaxy. Galaxy wins every time.
Every time.
Every
Got
time.
a ton of
Also
movies.
more
right.
people.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Also, Dave
Guardians of the
Bautista was
Galaxy.
great in that movie.
Huh?
Drax was a great character.
He's
Dave Bautista
fantastic.
did a great job.
I love
Definitely.
Dave Bautista. Guardians of the Galaxy. Moving on to the next round. Yeah, I love Dave Bautista. He's awesome in Blade Runner 2049. Did anybody see him in that? Where he's like, did you see it? He's great. He's got potential. That guy. In about 5 years, we're gonna be saying Academy Award winner Dave Bautista. That's all I'm saying. I'm calling it here now.
Wow.
I'm calling it here now. He's working hard.
Strong called shot.
Yeah. Brendan, thank you so much for being here. Is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
No, because Lunch Break Society is not back from our most recent break. Because I emailed myself the wrong file. Yeah. So we're still on break. So no, nothing. Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens. Why the fuck is this thing not... What is up with my music thing?
No one
Fuck
knows.
this bullshit. Oh, man.
You could just sing transition music in between.
I was going to do the fucking... Huh? I know we do, actually. We don't have
And
him.
talk about wrestling in general.
EC Dub. Yeah. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Brandon Gillen. Give out right there. Thank you, PJ. You're going to be sliding off. And is he back in the room? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Igor Martinez. Igor.
Yeah. I got a good name to chant.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
Yeah. Igor, welcome to the show. Thank you for
What's
being here.
happening?
What is your experience with professional wrestling?
Nothing.
So you've never watched it as a kid? You were never into like...
I did jujitsu for like 3 months.
I feel like that's like the new Williamsburg answer to wrestling.
I know.
Oh, I don't watch...
I am that person.
Not even MMA. Oh, I only watch Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Brazil. I got a special satellite for it.
From Sao Paulo.
From Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
I learned Portuguese. What? So you've never seen anything?
No, man. Okay, how about this? I remember doing this in middle school.
Oh, yeah. The Wolfpack, Too Sweet or whatever it was.
Yeah.
What was that? Your hands just kissed. Why?
Our hands just kissed.
Who are we celebrating?
Who is this? I don't even know. I just wanted to be a part of the club.
Yeah. At one point,
you have
such a diverse character dynamic.
Yeah, I don't
either
even
you're
know.
the jock heel.
I have no idea.
Or you're like the jock, but I want to be a part of things.
I have serious identity issues. Somebody help me. Somebody help me.
No, but that was the sign for the NWO Wolfpack. There was a separate group in WCW that they were like, oh, we're going to start our own wrestling thing, but it was all shows inside. And then it was called the New World Order. Very Illuminati.
I am familiar with that logo.
We all know Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash are the leaders of the Illuminati, apparently. And then they broke off into a thing called the Wolf Pack. And this was a little wolf that they would do with their hands. And then when they would get in the ring, they would kiss.
No,
the wolves
cute.
would kiss.
Yeah.
And it was delightfully
But
gay.
really badass at the same time.
It was super gay.
Yeah. No, I just said I want to go to drag queen wrestling. That's gayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is especially this. Come on, I guarantee you, if you go to drag queen wrestling and you do that, they're going to be like, "Wow, look at you!" Lots of makeup, yes. Yeah. What was so?
I got to say this. You know what I love is, there was when I was in, because I remember when I was in, I just didn't care when I was in middle school. Like there was like, no way, wrestling's real. You're out of your fucking mind. That's insane. But then now it's become this point where like people who, I don't want to offend anybody, but people who like are still, they still like
people who still believe in Santa Claus.
People,
say it.
Yeah, people who still believe in wrestling.
Say it, you pussy. Say
they're
it.
not like they still have like this very jokingly way of being like, yeah, it's real. Yeah, that guy, orchestrating this whole thing with his dick is absolutely real.
Yeah, that's 100% real.
I mean? Like that's it's what like they've taken it like, all right, listen, guys, it's not real. All right, but we can't let them know that. Okay, so how are we going to go about this the best way possible? We still believe it's real, you know? Like they all had a communion.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's definitely an interesting element of. Do you remember the video of the guy where it's still real to me? Damn it, where he's like in the crowd.
Oh yeah,
because that was like this unspoken thing of. Once I
got to a point where it was like, dude.
Yeah. I had to figure out how to explain it to why I enjoyed it, because my mom was like, it's fake. Like the guy, it's fake. And I'm like, it's not fake. Like the guy's fault. It's like a stunt show that you would see at like Universal Studios. You know what I mean?
He actually got shot in The Godfather.
Yeah, it's entirely
movies are fake, Mom.
Yeah, it's
because that's the other argument. That's the other side's argument.
Does your mom only watch documentaries?
No,
she
but
only watches reality-based media.
No, but she just Oh, I wish that would have been on mic so bad. No, that's just for us here in the room at the Creek in the Cave in Long Island City, Queens. Every Thursday at 8 p.m. You come, you get special shit like that if you're in the crowd. No, but the idea that she just thought it was dumb, and when she also didn't like when I would watch anime. She was like, the mouths are weird, or whatever.
Yeah,
because it didn't match. You know what I mean? Like the sync was bad. She's like, this show's so stupid, and I'm like, never mind. Go, Yeah. But it was definitely like I would like. It was appointment television for me.
Yeah, but then there's also the group that's like, yeah, that stuff is bullshit, but Blair Witch Project, that shit was real.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the same people that believe
you're just a different kind of crazy. Everybody's crazy. It's just different kinds.
Like there are people that still think that Keeping Up with the Kardashians, all these reality shows are reality. Like there's still people like, oh my God, they're so interesting.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, wrestling's fake, but I would suck Tom Brady's cock in a heartbeat. It's like, all right, man, you're just a different kind of breed. It's just a different kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I would worship.
I can't tell
that
if you're
man.
saying football's fake or Tom Brady's cock is fake.
No, just like
trying to follow your logic.
I know. I was when I was coming out, I was like, this is not going to work, Igor. This is not going to work. but it's just like you're just crazy about one thing. You know, like you're,
right.
Like you put Tom Brady as like your Jesus Christ.
You're a
like,
fan
of Tom Brady.
fanatic.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
being a fanatic.
Yeah. To the point where like, oh, you're almost delusional. You're like you don't have a sense of what's real and what's not, which
That's
is
true.
great. You know.
Well,
I think
speaking of
we're
what's
gonna have
real
to
and what's
get
not,
through
do you have a favorite wrestler turned actor?
you know what, man? Who's surprised? And I was like, at first, I was like, I don't like this guy, and I don't know many of them, but I think John Cena.
It's a lot of
think he's
people turn
funny.
around. I have not seen Blockers. Who has seen Blockers?
I just
Cock
watched
Blockers
it.
or whatever it was. People telling me it's funny, and I'm like, you have to be lying. You have to be.
I don't think it's like really funny, but he is just a silly goofball.
He was great in
meathead.
Trainwreck when he was like.
He was really funny in
his
Trainwreck.
moments of He was good in SNL. He is good in
And you know, to be a guy, I mean, I think a big thing is like, especially for, you know, some of us who would call themselves comedians, you know,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not nearly as self-aware as John Cena. You know,
That's true.
He's so fucking
Yeah,
self-aware,
and
and he
he
uses
knows-
it to his advantage.
Because it's also like his character name is his real name.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's his name is John Cena.
Yeah,
And his
yeah.
name in WWE is John Cena. So like he's never
Right.
not. It's like when Stephen Colbert was on the Colbert Report. He was Stephen Colbert, but he was air quotes Stephen Colbert.
Right. There was
So
a
like there's this-
persona,
exactly.
behind the actual
Yeah, I get
person.
it.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to make a decision?
Yeah.
All right, you
Mike,
have to
can I
choose.
say one thing before we do these?
Yes,
Did anyone put Spider-Man 1, the Sam Raimi one?
we'll get there.
Okay, great.
Who's Sam Raimi?
Also, I think Nacho Libre had several real wrestlers in it.
They did,
Okay,
but
great.
they didn't have like the marquee wrestlers.
I just forgot
and
to say those two things
only
earlier.
one person mentioned Nacho Libre. I fucking love Nacho
Nacho
Libre.
Libre was great.
Nacho. Oh! I would sit here and quote all of Nacho Libre to you if I thought it would make for good radio, but you guys do want to hear that or do no, never mind. Okay. I guess not.
You know what?
You
Next
have to
week's thing's
choose,
going to be.
Igor, between Blazing Saddles, because there was actually like a bunch of wrestlers in it for some reason. And, Mongo is a wrestler, and a bunch of people said it. I had to look it up. A bunch of people said Blazing Saddles and Predator, which featured Jesse the Body Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger, two future governors. Which one do you choose?
Damn, man.
The Predator or Blazing Saddles?
I think this is gonna just be like a 300 arrows coming at me of beer cans.
Well, no, because remember, it's not about which movie is the best.
no, I know,
Okay,
but I've also
it's about It's about the wrestler, the favorite movie with a wrestler in it. Like the Mongo parts, do they beat the Jesse Ventura? Well,
he just answered it now,
Well,
so
what are we
cut
doing
him
now?
some slack.
All right.
He's only one guy.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I will not make the delineation of what
I think it
is
should
and
be
isn't.
movie.
It's you. Whoever's
Yeah.
in this seat makes the decision.
Well, I've never seen Blazing Saddles.
Wow.
That's okay,
Wow.
Igor.
Oh, look,
Thank
another brave
you.
soul ready to get murdered.
But I love Predator. I love Predator.
No, you're not. Look, you're not wrong. Predator is great.
But you are a fucking idiot.
But, I will say a lot of people have called Blazing Saddles Mel Brooks' Predator, so it's kind of the equivalent movie in his canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the fuck did make Predator?
Who, the director of Predator?
That was a documentary.
Yeah, Predator was a real. Yeah, no, Predator. Predator is a found footage movie, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
They found it later.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But not one of those fake found footage movies.
Wait, so
Like the
are
Blair
you
Witch
saying?
Project.
Are you saying
Watch
moving
your
on into the
tongue,
next
though.
round?
Predator.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next round.
I'm doing
Motherfucking Predator.
Predator's great.
Beats
Two
Blazing
solid
Saddles.
movies. Two solid movies.
Wow. Also, Brendan, I forgot to ask you, but I'll ask you both now. If you could replace an iconic cinematic, maybe award-winning role with a wrestler playing the part instead of whoever did it, who would you choose and what part, what movie?
Streetcar Named Desire, and I would replace Marlon Brando's character with Andre the Giant.
I would replace almost
I just
everyone.
want him to yell Stella.
Stella.
And I think it would be legitimately a good performance.
No, we're right. You're not.
I thought I was wrong.
The bold yelling out from the audience and incorrectly.
That's Stella. I think you would do a great job with that.
That's where he gives the whole could have been a contender speech.
No,
On the waterfront. You're right. That's my
Yeah.
bad.
no, it's just where he's kind of stoic and like mildly abusive, and then like yells for his wife at the end.
Yeah, he was regular abusive.
He was regular abusive.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, but I would like Andre the Giant in that role would be like, a horrific situation. Igor, what? Yeah.
No, the character, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Igor, who would you? Toby, you do not have a microphone. This is going to sound so weird afterwards. What? So, who would you choose? What role would you want to be played by a wrestler, and which wrestler?
I think I would. I don't know. I don't know why this came to mind. I would replace Pennywise the dancing clown with Sting.
What? Yes. Now, for our podcast listener, not the guy from the police Sting, the wrestler Sting, who stole the crow from the look of the crow, and stole that for himself.
Yeah,
Would he be in a Pennywise look or just his?
No, just him.
Okay.
Just him. Not even in a clown. He's just wearing the trench coat.
And it's not even called Pennywise. It's just Sting is in the sewer for some reason. All the kids are like, is that Sting?
Yeah. It's just it, and then in parentheses, with Sting.
With Sting.
That's perfect. I could not think of a. That's great. I'm thinking about like we all float down here, and the arm from the new one. You know,
I don't think. I just don't think he wouldn't have any parts or even lines. He would just be standing there the whole time, like, yo, this guy's really freaking me out.
Oh man.
He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Igor,
Igor, would you like to promote anything before you go?
I just got a Twitter like 2 weeks ago. It's Iggy Smalls Jiggy. Follow me there. And I got a show at QED Saturday, April 20th. Some great comics. And I don't know why they booked me, but they got me hosting. So April 20th, QED. Thank you very much, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Igor Martinez. Coming up next, a round of applause for Elise Edwards. Getting one of the divas on stage.
Yes.
Divas.
Yes, bitch. Yes.
Welcome to the show, Elise. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What is your experience and your level of interaction with wrestling?
The art form.
The art form known as
of wrestling.
Professional wrestling.
Okay, so I grew up watching some old school wrestling. Like I loved, obviously, I had a crush on Bret Hart. I loved Hulk Hogan. My sister,
not obviously, but I get it. You know,
my sister was 10 years older than me, and she was super into wrestling. So like that was part of my Saturday ritual, was watching like. The American Gladiators, and then some Dukes of Hazzard reruns, and then like some primetime wrestling for us. That was that
was peak era of like
awesome
fake athlete.
Yeah,
like American Gladiators.
Those are real athletes, though. I mean, his name was Thor, but like he could crush your face with his hands if he needed to.
Yeah, athletes playing a character. You know what I mean? Like that guy's name was not actually Nitro. You know what I mean? Like,
like Nitro.
Yeah. Nitro,
Laser.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite.
You watched it too, I see.
That's one of my favorite lines from Dodgeball when he's like, "It's my blazer, laser,
yeah, blazer,
yeah." What the fuck was I gonna ask you?
So that was like, also let me tell you, I'm from the DC area, and my dad took us to a wrestling event, which I thought was SummerSlam. In fact, until I was about 23 years old, I thought I had been to SummerSlam, and apparently it was just like a one-off, you know. And I thought it was SummerSlam because it was in the DC Armory, which is a place that they've tried to bulldoze for like 4 decades now, and it had no air conditioning and like 3,000, like 30, I don't know, 20,000. I don't know. It's like, it seemed enormous to me because I was like 4 and I was on my dad's lap and sweating my ass off and like seeing Hulk Hogan, but he was like that big. Oh, so
it was like a marquee
Hulk
show.
was there, but like it wasn't a big show.
Was there.
Like I thought it was SummerSlam, but apparently it was 100% not SummerSlam. It was just hot as balls and in summer. And my favorite dude was there, so I thought it was SummerSlam. To me, it was SummerSlam.
Your favorite dude was Hulk Hogan?
Well, I mean, I watched it for like a little bit longer, and I would definitely say The Undertaker is my dude. Undertaker all day, forever. Undertaker. I stopped a guy on the subway platform for his Paul Bearer shirt, and then like 4 months later, Paul Bearer was dead, like a few years ago.
Do you blame yourself, or
I don't. If anything else, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like
maybe lost any sleep over it.
You're right.
you put that energy out. And I love your Paul Bearer shirt. I hope he doesn't die in 3 months.
Yeah.
And he dies in 3 months, and you're like, what have I done?
And we allowed murderers on here.
I have to say that I remember exactly where I was when Owen Hart died.
I was watching it.
I was not watching it, but I was in my sister's 85 Buick Electra taking a ride on West Street in Falls Church, Virginia, when we found out that Owen Hart had died in a terrible accident.
Does everybody know what happened to Owen Hart? He at that time he was pretending to be like a superhero. And he would descend from the roof on a wire or something like that. And that in the middle of the show, I was watching it, and I remember there was like a weird delay. And it was during a pay-per-view. It might have been during a pay-per-view.
He died live?
Yeah. They didn't show it.
That must have been the best show ever.
Right. There was a time. I remember there being like a long break. Because we used to have the illegal cable thing where we got all the pay-per-views, the black box where you can watch all that shit for free.
Oh, shit.
But so we got to see it without the commercials, and then all of a sudden I realized, man, there hasn't been another match going on in a long time. And I remember they cut to somebody cutting a promo. And I forget what one of the lady managers was saying something and then started crying, and then they cut away, and then they were like, Owen Hart's been taken to emergency whatever situation. Probably he fell and he broke his neck. He was like dead instantly, but they had to do for the show,
right?
Like to make it look like they were taking him out.
That's like dying doing an act out on stage.
Yeah, especially since he had just been pretending to be a superhero. Like, he can't just go down like that. He can't just be like instantly out.
He was pretending to be a goofy superhero. Like, that was the gimmick. And then he had like a weird mask, and he would like, haha, and he would come out and he pretend to be fighting crime for like, right? Like, it's just a goofy thing. And then he's fucking dead. Like, he just died coming in from apparently it disconnected and dropped him really fast, and he landed on his neck.
Jesus.
Or some shit.
So on a happier note, okay. Well, actually, I had stopped watching wrestling at that point, but I remember hearing that on the radio, and I was with my sister at the time, so that was like we were really fucked up over it.
Yeah.
And then I remember someone made who was it? Was it you doing the wolf pack thing?
Yeah, want to get into this, girl?
That was no, actually I don't.
Oh,
because I love you. I love you, Igor Martinez. But I'm gonna tell you why.
That's worse than getting left hanging for like a handshake or a high five.
I'm
the
gonna
Wolfpack
I'm
thing.
gonna tell you right now because they were like bad guys,
Yeah,
and so it's like it had been like a decade. I feel like it hadn't actually been a decade. It had been like 5 years, but that felt like a decade.
Sure.
You know, when you had lived so little life. But I remember being in middle school. And all these guys want to do like Wolfpack and like the Triple H like shit.
Yeah, the suck it.
And I was like,
shit.
And not only was it like so grotesque, okay, but they had they didn't know anything about its origins. Like I fucked with like Andre the Giant. You know what I'm saying? Like I fucking yes, exactly.
Were
like
you hipstering?
If you weren't like I was hipstering. I was like, you know what? You don't even like you. I
don't even know.
You're the kind of you're like me. We're going to well, what the fuck you know about El Santo? What do you fucking know about?
I have no idea what else.
You know Selena's deep cuts.
But like, okay, the Bushwhackers are my first tag team ever. Thank you.
Yes,
okay, so
Bushwhackers.
if you don't know about the Bushwhackers, you need to take your Triple H somewhere else, my dude.
That's
like,
true.
Get the fuck out of here. And and I remember when they like unveiled the 1-2-3 Kid as the 1-2-3 Kid from whatever previous iteration he had been before, and then when I saw him as X-Pac, I was like, dude, you're always going to be a gimp to me. Okay, you are always going to be a gimp. So there was so much shit I just couldn't handle, and then it was like me, like 2 times taller than any guy in my grade, trying to do this. I couldn't. So. Sorry, you know what? I'm just gonna do this because it's you. I fucking love Igor Martinez. I fuck with Igor, but at the same time, Wolfpack can eat a dick.
Real quick.
Right.
Real quick.
Wait.
Did you have to cross to suck it, or
Yeah.
could you just? You had to cross
there
it.
was the DX suck it, and then there was the other one
okay.
where I got 2 words for you.
Yeah, because I did the regular one, and somebody's like, "You're a loser. You got to cross."
It's all
it."
trash.
Yeah.
And,
It's all bad.
But I still, you know what? I still loved what's his name? Shawn
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
The Heartbreak Kid.
Heartbreak
You're
Kid.
an OG, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm OG. Like I keep it down with the real OG.
I'm older than you, so I genuinely had like
So I'm an OG.
yeah.
So I'm the
No.
OS of G's.
I'm the
by the
OS
way.
I'm the OSG there is. I remember having the stuffed Ultimate Warrior. They had
fuck
like
yeah.
the Ultimate Warrior stuffed animal thing that you would like throb an elbow on. I had
phone.
Macho
That's your
Man,
phone.
Ultimate
That's Elisa's
Warrior, and a
phone, everybody.
Hogan. With my brother, we split all of the things, and we would have all of the. That was like only as an adult that I realized, the Ultimate Warrior, he was an insane person. Like he was
real.
legitimately a crazy person.
Weren't
And
all of them?
well, they were all roided up and juiced up, and they
Yeah.
were all like doing coke, and they were all
They all lived as another person.
yeah.
Yeah, Ric Flair just didn't like Ric Flair like that.
Yeah.
Like he was, there was like a few bars of cocaine that went up
For sure.
That was part of the concoction.
Elise, are you ready to make a difficult decision?
Gotta be
Okay.
a character.
I don't know if this one will be too difficult. You have to choose between the aforementioned Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan and the Running Man with Jesse the Body Ventura as Captain Freedom.
I'm gonna go the Running Man.
You're gonna go Running Man again over Mr. Nanny.
That was fast.
That's
Yeah.
your final choice. Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Running Man wins. Moving on to the next round.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was like, aren't you gonna ask me who my favorite wrestler turned actor is? Because that was the only part that I was prepared for.
Oh,
any of
okay,
this.
yeah. What would you like?
Okay, but has anyone? It's actually a really tough call for me between Roddy Piper and has anyone already
Nope.
done?
The first time Mr. Piper's name has been mentioned
Okay, well,
tonight.
I'm gonna do it. But it's a really tough call between him. I mean, it's
Who's
a
the
tough
other
call
guy?
between him and
Who's the other
and
one?
Andre the Giant. Andre, I've always wanted
Andre
to be.
the Giant. Also, you're the first one to mention either one of them as in this section. So you have to. Which one is it going to
So
be?
I have to make this decision
yeah,
now.
yeah. It's you brought them up. You
Was
started
Andre the
this.
And
Giant?
they're
Elise.
both passed, so it's not like
Oh,
I could just
yeah.
be like, "Oh, I'm going to do the one that's like not here anymore."
Roddy Piper was also like mental issues that he had to like address later on in life after getting hit in the head a million times.
Yeah, but like Andre the Giant's Andre the Giant.
Nice.
He's the most like
he had
legendary.
to be taken to school in the back of Samuel Beckett's truck in rural
Because he
France.
didn't fit in the car?
Because he did not fit in the school bus that was given. Did
There
you
was-
not know this story?
He's literally legend. Like there's a legend. Like he's a Paul Bunyan like
Hello.
figure.
His last
Samuel
name?
Beckett, the playwright. Okay,
That's his legal
legendary
last
playwright, taking legendary, not soon to be wrestler. I guess like by the time he was 23, he was like, well, he was renowned.
He was absolutely. He was
But
already a
when he
teenager.
by the time he was 15, he dead ass could not fit in a school bus.
Yeah.
And so he dead ass had to be in the back of a man's truck,
He's-
a Samuel
yeah.
Beckett's truck, getting wheeled to
He
school.
couldn't even ride this short bus.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
couldn't- no,
poor bastard.
they couldn't build a short bus big enough for Andre the Giant. I'm gonna go Andre the Giant. You
Yeah,
know?
Andre the
I'm gonna go
Giant.
Andre. I
Poor
fucking love you,
bastard.
Andre.
Who would you cast? This. So real quick before we finish up, take a famous role, Oscar-winning could be, but just a very big prominent role in a Hollywood movie,
Oh.
and replace the actor with a wrestler. Who would it be?
Oh man.
This one is a hard question.
This is a
It's
really hard
tricky.
question.
Well, what's the first thing that's coming to your mind? We'll go with. Forget about which one you think is best. What's the first one that you think of?
The first thing that someone mentioned The Crow, which is also like it's like part of my DNA. I
Yeah.
still have like
You fucking love that movie.
I still have AOL, like The Crow 012 at AOL. If you want to email me there and me find it
Is your
7 years
password?
later.
Oh,
It can't rain all the
girl.
time, or something.
You
Like
want
that?
to aim or
It's
something?
not.
Want a
But that's
cyber?
not like really like a famous role. Like I was like not even thinking about the title
It's your-
role. I was thinking,
At
okay,
least don't question yourself. Go with your gut.
okay,
Come on.
let me go with my gut. I know, but like The Crow is where my my gut is. That's what's so sad.
So you're
no
replacing
judgment.
just
okay,
now or all
but
the
no,
time?
I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna I'm not even seeing like I don't know. Oh, that's so weird. These are all B-sides, which is very on brand for me. Okay, I'm gonna go. This is so random.
Go, Elise, say it.
I want to replace Gideon,
Suck
Mr.
it.
Gideon, okay, in The Crow. All right, and if you're familiar with the graphic novel, Mr. Gideon's all about. He's a pawn shop owner,
Right.
Okay, Mr. Gideon, you're not paying attention. He burns ashes to the ground. He gets his wedding ring back, but Mr. Gideon is now played by Mankind.
Yeah, that's wow. That is
All right.
actually very, very good.
All right.
Thank you.
At least it
I
took
know
us-
it was a long way around for
It
that.
took
friends.
us it was a
We all
long
came.
walk, but we got
We
there. It
all
was a
came.
long walk. What would you like to promote before you go?
Okay, you can find all my things at EliseWalkerEdwards.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Elise Adamkara. Easier to find at EliseWalkerEdwards.com. I have 2 shows that are coming up this weekend. They're both at Otto Shrunken Head. Saturday 6:30 and Monday, not the weekend, 6
Sorry.
p.m.
Weekend for some people.
But most importantly, I'm hosting a benefit for veterans, a benefit show in Patterson,
Posers.
New Jersey.
I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't know why that came out. I don't
Why
know.
is there evil in your heart,
I'm so
Igor?
sorry, Elise.
Watch out. It is called Headspace and Timing. It's produced by our very favorite redneck, James Mack, and he has me hosting it, and Dina Hashem is headlining.
Oh,
and
gosh.
it's May 10th. So get
Where?
tickets.
And they can follow you at Elise Adamkara, EliseWalkerEdwards.com.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Elise
you.
Edwards. Coming up. Who do we got? A round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ben Gordon. Ben. What's up, buddy? Don't drop your phone.
Hey, buddy. Look at
Oh,
you. Oh, no.
He's got 2 words for
He's
us.
not.
And I really I love Triple H. I really don't like Triple H though.
Wait,
Oh.
But
explain.
He's the man.
Triple H, he's like the head of everything now, right? Like
No, he runs NXT, which if you're Vince McMahon doesn't matter.
right.
But
So
if
you're-
you're
okay.
anyone else, you're like, that's pretty cool. Good for you, Triple H.
Ben, you are current with wrestling. You are up to date. You watch it as you watch it now, not just something you did in the past.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're up to date.
Yeah, I love wrestling.
What is the hot story for
Wrestling's
WrestleMania
terrible.
on Sunday?
I love wrestling. Well, the main event is, and this for the first time ever, WrestleMania 35 is going to be main evented by women.
That's right. It's gonna
Main
be all
event
ladies.
is including Ronda Rousey, one of the greatest athletes in the world. Charlotte Flair, the best wrestler with a vagina. That's how I'm going to put it. Charlotte Flair is amazing. She's one of the best ever, not just because WWE wrote her to be, but because she's great.
She's also like technically, well, she's Ric Flair's daughter,
One of Ric Flair's daughters, yeah.
right? And but she's actually like supposed to be good, like a good technical wrestler. Like
Yeah, she's great.
She's good.
She
at-
puts on a good show.
That's
when
right.
you watch her wrestle, you're like, wow, she's kicking her ass.
Well,
she's getting her ass kicked. She can do it all.
she sells well.
Just like Shaq West.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was trying to
already
mention
a
it
dated
earlier,
reference.
but there were times when, like, especially on the house shows where it's not televised, where they're literally just
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
the show for the people in the room.
Yeah, people
That's
that paid
what
to
it's
see
made.
them.
Like that's what wrestling was. Like they would just do the show for the people in the room. Like you used to have to
Seen
like
a lot of those, yeah.
that's what when you sell and you spot and all that stuff. Like all of that, of the techniques are for live audiences.
Well,
And then,
all of it is wrestling. The minute like you're in gear in front of people, traditionally you're the wrestler. So you're interacting with other wrestlers. You got to make other wrestlers have a convincing performance, or else your performance is just as unconvincing.
it's like an improv team.
It's like improv forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's disgusting.
But from the word go. But then they started bringing the camera elements to it. Do you think that like?
I
Do
mean,
you think they do too much of that storyline shit, or do you want to see like good like wrestling on the thing?
you have to like care about the wrestlers somehow.
It's true.
And some people are just better at getting you to care about them with their words or their personality than their physical performance.
What is your favorite?
The best wrestlers can do both.
Right, because they have like the
Some would
heroes
argue
and the
Triple
villains. They
H.
have the
I
baby
wouldn't.
face and the heel, right?
Yes.
What's your
Traditionally.
favorite heel turn?
I appreciate that I'm having this wrestling seminar in front of people.
yeah, you're the only one
I
of
love
us
that you were like, someone's here to talk about it.
that
Let's
is
teach
active-
everybody real
that's
quick.
current, like up to date.
That's
Like
nice.
who cares about like? Because I remember watching wrestling in the past, but I don't watch it now.
Sounds
So
like everyone remembers watching wrestling.
yeah. What is your favorite heel turn
My favorite heel turn.
when the good guy goes bad?
I can't say that it's the best one, but it's the one that's coming into mind. There was a storyline. Chris Jericho, the last time he was in WWE, was paired
Also
with Kevin
hot.
Owens.
He
Chris
was
Jericho?
what? What'd you say?
You say,
I said also hot.
Daddy Chris Jericho? Man, he looks so much like everyone's dad.
Now, but not back in the day.
No, Chris Jericho was great with the hair, Lionheart.
Wait, at least is that
I love-
that your
I love
type
Y2J.
wrestler? Is professional wrestler? your-
Okay, my first love was Eric Draven mixed with Jeff Hardy. Swear to God, Irish. So he was like,
Jeff Hardy?
yeah, right.
Everyone loves Jeff Hardy.
It was the most.
Jeff
Continue.
Hardy's the
Long-
one of the
okay.
most charismatic men in wrestling.
Yeah,
I
also
think just
crazy,
by the
right?
numbers.
Yeah, he was also
Everyone's
crazy.
he did drugs, but like you have to when you're flying off ladders 400 days a year.
Fair enough. So what was
You
the?
know,
So
like
Chris Jericho turned evil.
no, he was paired with Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens is traditionally a heel, so they were both heels. They were just being assholes to everybody for like a year on Raw. This was the same time Goldberg was like
Coming back.
coming back, and Brock Lesnar was just around. But they were the best part of Raw.
Right.
Kevin Owens became the Universal Champion, the second one ever, in a surprise twist where Triple H showed up for no reason to help him win that match on Raw. So they were best buddies. They won matches together. They were hilarious. And Chris Jericho had this list. It was his gimmick, the list of Jericho. And he would, when you would piss him off, he'd write your name on the list.
Yeah.
It was a shitty notebook like the first time, and later he got a clipboard.
It must have been like in the Mean Girls. There was that the journal,
It was hysterical.
and then
After they do this for like 8 months, take it everywhere. Kevin Owens loses the belt to Goldberg. He blames Chris Jericho for that because if it wasn't for Chris Jericho, he wouldn't have had a match with Goldberg in the first place. So they have this festival of friendship in Las Vegas.
This
where
is
they put on
fascinating. The names that they choose.
No. These two grown men from Canada are going to have a ceremony commemorating their friendship in front of a whole bunch of people in the desert of Las Vegas because wrestling.
Yeah.
The main event.
The main event. They were so good. And he gets him this painting of what's the Michelangelo with
The Sistine Chapel. The roof of the Sistine Chapel.
the creation of Adam, and Chris Jericho's like, I got you this painting, and it's them as the creation of Adam, Chris Jericho's face on one, Kevin Owens' face on the other, and it's really just like, this is really gay.
Wait, was that the punchline?
Yeah, like he's like, look at us. We're such good friends, and Kevin Owens gets him a gift, and it's the list of KO. He's like, you got me a new list? Why is my name on the list? And the way it's looked on, the way it was shot, because it's a TV show.
Right.
The way it was shot, it was really good. He's holding the list, and it says the list of, zoom out, KO. And just from out of shot, Kevin Owens comes in and jumps him. And it was like really nice up until it was really stupid.
Yeah, and then it turns, and then it has to turn.
Yeah.
But it was like over the top.
Like you killed
we're all
everyone's favorite.
friends.
You literally just killed everyone's favorite act.
Yeah.
And it was the only saving part of that show was them being friends together because
Another long walk to
Goldberg
get there.
was
but
haunting everybody.
I'm glad we got there. Ben,
I had to explain all that.
Yeah,
wrestling
no, there's a
stuff.
lot there.
Wrestling
Look,
has a lot of content.
there's a lot of history. There.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Had a
Who's
good
your
match at the end.
favorite actor, wrestler turned actor?
Man, I don't watch movies.
You don't want. You're like I
mean,
only
it
watch
could
wrestling.
be Batista because Batista has been in the best movies.
That's true.
Is if like we're gonna take popular opinion on it, Batista is got a great track record going on right now.
That's a fair argument to make. That's
And
fair.
then he came back to wrestle because he wanted to wrestle. And I love that. He just wanted to wrestle Triple H, which is like, okay, but
it was such a huge part of his life. I'm sure there's stuff that he didn't
loves
get to
Triple
do,
H.
and now that he's famous enough to be like, well, people fucking love me now.
Yeah, but he's coming back to lose to Triple H. Y'all heard it here first. He's gonna lose to Triple H.
This is happening on WrestleMania.
he's going
right?
to lose to Triple H at WrestleMania. I
You
promise
think he's gonna lose?
Yeah, because
Maybe.
Triple H doesn't lose.
Okay,
Fair,
I have
fair.
a question. This is like the other way around from the wrestler turned actor, but like, can we do a production of Hamlet where the Undertaker plays the gravedigger?
I fully support that. That's a great
Mike,
idea.
you should play the Undertaker. I think
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
If
I
you're the
mean,
tallest guy in this
please.
room,
Like,
you
I know
should
that
be the
I
Undertaker.
you can't get in touch with him through Paul Bearer anymore.
I saw Stephen Amell, the guy from Arrow. The
Yeah.
Star of Arrow. He wrestled an actual wrestling match with Christopher Daniels, who's like this indie wrestler, but he's been wrestling for like 20 years. He's great.
Yeah.
And they put on like an actually good match.
No, Stephen Amell's a tremendous athlete. Like he's in incredible shape. He did the fucking
failed the city.
American Ninja Warrior track, and he got like super far.
Man, Ninja Warrior is so cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know
very
about
cool.
American Ninja Warrior, but when it was like the Sasuke tournament,
Yeah, when it was
That shit
like
was
dubbed,
nuts.
when it was just the dub, the
It
dub.
was subtitled. I didn't want. G4 had it subtitled.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And so you would hear the Japanese and people
I'm
would be
thinking
losing their
of-
minds of guys climbing up the warp
Yeah.
wall. You think
I'm-
you could do the warp wall?
No, I can't do half that shit.
Man,
I was
you think you
thinking
could
of
do the
Like maybe with some training, I could.
yeah.
I think Elise could do it.
I think Elise could do it too. I'm thinking of most extreme elimination challenge where they would do the castle things, all the stunts
Yes.
and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was hilarious.
NXT, I remember that. So,
Problematic.
are you ready to make
Hilarious.
some tough decisions, Ben?
It was a pass. The pass is problematic.
Ben,
sure.
you have to
Won't be a problem
choose.
for me. I don't watch movies.
Yeah, which
I
is
watch wrestling.
even better. You have to choose between Ready to Rumble, which is with David Arquette, and it was all the WCW people.
I saw David Arquette wrestle. That was surreal.
Okay.
You saw it? Did you see it in person?
Oh, I saw him wrestle, and one of the wrestlers one of the wrestlers was hitting on a 16-year-old,
So he got ousted from wrestling. James Ellsworth, if anyone remembers, he had he didn't have a chin. He was gross. It was terrible.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Real life.
So Ready
But
to
I
Rumble.
saw one of his last matches
So in person?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
in Chicago.
So-
Shout outs to Warrior Wrestling.
So Ready to Rumble versus Rocky 3. Rocky 3, where Rocky fights Hulk Hogan.
Oh, man.
That's right. When they still treated it like Rocky was. Mr. T, I think, did guest stuff, but I don't think he ever wrestled. I'll tell you who
if he
did wrestle.
anything, he didn't do anything. He definitely showed up at like a WrestleMania or something,
For
like
sure.
Mike Tyson did.
Yeah. You know who else? You know who actually did like a diamond cutter, DDP diamond cutter on somebody?
love DDP.
Remember Kevin Eubanks, the guitarist for Jay Leno? Jay Leno and Kevin Eubanks were in
this the
wrestling at
most-
one point.
Obscure pull of.
Because I'm thinking of
I'm
like
glad you thought of it.
that's in my brain as like the weirdest one. Like that's my one like trick I got in the back of my, where I was like, yeah, Kevin Eubanks from Jay
David
Jay
Arquette
Leno
would have been
wrestled.
weird up until that one.
So what do you choose between Rocky 3 and Ready to Rumble?
Rocky 3, Ready to Rumble.
With your which criteria are you using to determine what's your choice? To how you're making your choice?
I can tell you what it's not is how good the movies are because I didn't see those movies.
Okay, valid.
But like Sly's in one of them. Wait, is Sting in Ready to Rumble? Is Sting in?
I don't know.
I'm calling to the ghost of Suzanimal. DDP's in that one? Oh, then Ready to Rumble. DDP saved multiple wrestlers' lives. So shout
Yeah,
out to DDP.
DDP is actually very like a positive figure
He's the
now with
man.
his yoga. Ladies and gentlemen, defeating Rocky 3, Ready to Rumble.
Finally, someone.
In
I got
true
to put
wrestling
someone over Hulk
fashion,
Hogan.
though.
Yeah.
For real.
I got to put someone over Hulk Hogan, and I feel real good
What,
about that. You're welcome, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
Ben, what would you like to promote before you slide over?
Ladies
You're
and
going to be
gentlemen,
guessing.
come to the Creek and Cave, Long Island City, Queens, not Manhattan. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ben Gordon.
I thought we were gonna
And you're
bump
gonna slide
mics.
right over
I thought
there.
we were gonna
Thank you,
bump
Elise.
mics real quick.
Thank you. Watch your heads. There you go. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Shane Gale. Yeah. Too sweet. Yeah.
Oh, hi.
What's up, buddy?
What's up?
We're
Hey,
talking
Mr.
about
Shane,
wrestling,
what's up, buddy?
Shane.
Yeah.
Do you currently watch wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? So you're into it now?
I know all the. I mean, I don't know all the shit. Ben knows more than me, but I know stuff.
Yo, Shane. I'm gonna see Tanahashi tomorrow.
Son of a bitch!
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's the thing that happens around WrestleMania is that all of these other companies do big things too,
There's
right?
like 40 other wrestling shows happening.
No, WrestleMania is like Coachella now for wrestling fans.
Yeah.
It's just it's like satellite parties and concerts and shit.
There's like
Had it in
viewing
New Orleans,
parties.
Yeah.
Had it in New Orleans, it was just Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah, that's what. Anytime they do anything in New Orleans,
Everything
it turns into
is-
Mardi Gras.
Do
everything
it in
in
a
New Orleans
cold
is
weather
Mardi Gras.
city, it's harder because it could snow on a Sunday theoretically
Yeah.
in April, but
So what do you got? What's your experience with wrestling now? What are you looking forward to in WrestleMania? What's
looking
happening?
forward to the first black WWE champion of all time, Kofi Kingston on Sunday.
Do you believe in Kofi Mania?
I love him.
Wait, break it down? I
Kofi
don't.
Kingston. His gimmick used to be that he's Jamaican. He's like he's a Ghanaian dude from Boston.
He's a cool guy.
He's like great in the ring, super athletic, very fun, entertaining.
Has there never been a black?
The Rock was never WWE champion.
Not in the
The
East.
championship that actually has the lineage in Vince's company. He was world heavyweight champion, which was the big gold belt.
Yeah,
which
that was
is
the
WCW.
WCW belt.
The championship
And
that
doesn't
Hulk
exist
Hogan
anymore.
and Andre the Giant and Bruno Sammartino and all those
And John
black
Cena.
guys never had that
Most
belt.
importantly, John Cena.
What?
Never once.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
fascinating. That's
Just The
Even
Rock.
his tag team partner did a thing on Twitter. That's a fat Samoan, and I'm not. Just because you wear FUBU don't make you black. I'm not gonna give that to him.
yeah. Has there been a Latino that had it?
Did Eddie have
I think
WWE?
Eddie had the E
Yeah,
belt,
so
yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero.
And,
okay.
and
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio had it for like a
And
day.
what was the other? There was a
Like a
Hispanic dude in the 70s. What was his name? Tito Morales? No, something like that. I don't know.
You're just making up Latino names
It
now.
was a Tito something.
Tito.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. Interesting. That seems wrong. How is that possible? I mean, The Rock.
I mean, the answer is pretty obvious. I mean, fucking-
Super racist. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. The whole culture
forget,
is
guys.
steeped in
Well,
racism.
It's
is
one
real.
of them. It's like the actual more damaging part of racism. Where like Vince McMahon, we even got criticized once. I remember when Gail Kim, this Asian woman who used to wrestle, where he was like, he didn't
story. The
realize
story's
that people
hilarious.
thought Asian women were sexy. Like
What?
that's
He didn't
how
believe
white
it.
he is. Where I'm like, because he didn't push her because he's like, people don't think Asian girls are good looking, do they?
It's a fight
no one
between
thinks that.
his misogyny
that
and his
out of-
racism.
he's that out of touch where he was
Yeah.
just like, no one would actually want to
like,
fuck
really?
an Asian woman.
Yeah.
People fuck blondes. That's what everyone likes.
yeah.
Remember?
Well,
So he's
that's
that out of touch where I'm like, no one would want to watch a black dude on screen. Why would they even? It wouldn't even occur to him to do that.
Well, he's become did everybody watch the John Oliver thing on WWE?
I
Super
saw it.
interesting, and it breaks down, and they show him in the interview like Vince McMahon being.
Oh, Vince is a crazy person for sure.
He's crazy. Yeah.
Nah, you can't tell him he's wrong about
You
it.
can't trust an old man who's that muscular. He's like 80. You shouldn't have traps at fucking 80.
Yeah.
It's like you're a maniac.
What is your favorite wrestler turned actor?
Well, most of these guys suck, but also it's just hard to watch them because they're all so much bigger. It's like when you see like a basketball player in real life, like the shortest, like Allen Iverson is like an inch taller than me, and he's a shrimp on a basketball court.
Right.
So you watch like The Rock, and you're like, he can't do a real movie. The Rock could never be in like fucking
Right.
There Will Be Blood. He's like,
that's why he was
giant. Why is this monster roaming the Old West? Like,
Yeah.
he's a-
That's why he was in a bunch of Kevin Hart movies.
Yeah.
Just to look even extra bigger.
you know.
I will say this: Central Intelligence is very funny, and
Yeah,
I
is
enjoyed that. I enjoyed the shit out of that movie.
They got into that too. People were just like, holy fuck, you're huge.
Yeah, where they point out to how big is. But you're right. Like I, as a tall person, as a big person, whenever I've gone out on auditions where I had to do a camera test with somebody, and they were so much shorter than me. It was another dude who was so much shorter than me that they had to get apple boxes from the stand on. They're like, part of me was like, they'll never book me for anything because all actors are short.
Like even with the women wrestlers now, like he was talking about Charlotte Flair. Like Charlotte Flair's like 5'11". You know how hard it is to be like a woman actor at 5'11" and not just be like, I don't know.
She's also like,
What can
she's
you,
also
what
like
could you play
built.
other than like, I don't know, a volleyball coach when you're a woman
It's
that's 5'11"?
true. Yeah,
Like no one's gonna cast you.
none of them. Okay, well, we'll skip to this part
That's why
first,
we
and
write
then we'll
different
have you do the
movies
question
now.
at the end. What role would you recast with
I would
the
put
rest?
Mankind, like Elise brought up, Mick Foley, because he's schlubby enough to look like a regular dude. I would put him in a movie. He's a great actor. The origins of Mankind, the character is some of the best acting on TV. Like, he was like a weird dude. He used to do like weird hardcore wrestling in Japan, like breaking light bulbs and, ripping his face
One of the
open.
kings of the death match.
And then Vince McMahon gave him a stupid character called Mankind the Mutilator, and he was like, "No, that's stupid. We're gonna shorten it." And I'm like this crazy guy, and he's
he
like
made him
tormenting the Undertaker. It's incredible. It
He,
was
he
really
literally
good.
just wanted to rip his credibility away.
Mankind could have been like a Joker, like a Heath Ledger as Joker level performance. He could have done that in his prime.
Yeah.
He's that good of an actor.
He was. I loved.
And he does comedy, so he's got range. He's
Yeah,
good. And
yeah,
he looks
he's-
like a regular guy. He's like out of shape. He's like 6'4", but he's like fat. He's not like a.
He's the one
Crazy
that
handsome
fell
guy.
that when they did Hell in the Cell and they threw he was doing crazy
Yeah, he
shit.
died in that match.
Also, Mankind's daughter, super hot now. Noelle Foley.
I know.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, of course Ben knows.
I
But yeah,
just
so
didn't
you
need
would
to talk
cast
about it.
Mankind in who and what?
Just anything. I would put him in anything. Or I would put Shawn Michaels in Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, you don't change the movie at all if you do that.
Yeah, you don't.
Because
It's the
Kevin
same
Nash
movie.
is already in that movie.
Yeah, Kevin Nash,
You
big
just put him
sexy.
next to Kevin Nash again, and
I love Kevin Nash for how many times his hair color it's like watching like your grandma just be blonde one year and then she's like all gray, then he's got like dark hair the next day. Super vain. I mean, he went by Big Sexy, so it's
well,
to be
I mean,
expected.
like Kevin Nash is also in. There's a few wrestlers in The Longest Yard. Do you remember The
Kevin
Longest
Nash,
Yard?
Kevin Nash is in a lot of movies because he
Kevin-
can't wrestle. He'll
Didn't
die.
Stone Cold say nigger in The Youngest Yard? Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Didn't he say that in his real life?
Probably.
He for sure has said that. Yeah. Oh no. Hogan did for sure.
Stone Cold's a
Hogan,
good
they
person.
got that motherfucker on tape.
What else was I talking about? Oh, Wolfpack.
Acting like
I feel like
every white person.
Wolfpack was just like a parody of like the Crips and Bloods situation.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they were originally one gang, and then the Wolfpack were like, we're this offshoot, and we wear red.
Right. It's like what
Well, like, we
Tennessee
need to start our
people
own
think
gang.
the gangs are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They came out to rap music. They had like this weird fake like West Coast gangster rap song.
And they had
Wolfpack is back causing mass destruction. Dum, dum. Ooh, dum, 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 dum. It was so stupid. Yeah.
And I remember
Conan.
LWO.
Well, they also let me say this.
NWO
I
Wolfpack,
loved
EWO.
Razor Ramon. I loved Razor Ramon.
Oh.
Just
As-
the trashiest like Florida white dude playing a Cuban.
he was exactly. Here's the thing I'm talking about. All
Dude,
of the
it was probably his
appropriations.
uncle, bro.
All of the Scott Hall is not my uncle.
Could be.
But the reality of like they were just like racial stereotyping the fuck out of everything, and they were just like, yeah, who cares?
5 gold chains, the unbuttoned shirt, the greasy hair.
The
Like
toothpick.
we said, Vince McMahon hasn't made a
That
black
sounds like
eye
theater,
champion.
honestly.
yeah, that's fascinating.
Sounds like regular
Shane,
ass theater.
Are you ready to make a tough decision?
Sure.
This one, let's see how difficult it is. If you're going to maintain your heel status, you have to choose.
Oh, I forgot I'm a heel.
Yeah, you have to choose between Suburban Commando,
Hulk Hogan.
Hogan versus the Princess Bride.
Suburban Commando.
No! I
Good job, Shane.
You said I'm a heel. Fuck all y'all.
Mike, how many Hulk Hogan
Fickle.
movies are there left?
knew it. Hold on.
Fickle.
Yo, do
Hold
you
on.
really think Kofi's gonna win that match?
Everybody chill. Everybody settle.
No, he asked me a question. No, I don't think he's gonna win. But Fickle.
Yeah. So you're saying, so you're gonna go full heel and remove the most beloved.
I never
Best movie
seen a
on-
Princess Bride, dog.
Oh really?
me
Is
neither.
this heel shit
I don't
or is
watch
it,
movies,
I
though.
can never tell with you, Shane.
You don't gotta pretend to be heel. As the great Stone Cold Steve Austin says, your best wrestling characters are your personality turned up. He was a redneck who liked beer and hated his bosses. He just turned it up, started cursing. That's him. I've never seen The Princess Bride, and I'm not gonna see it.
Oh no.
So fuck The Princess Bride. Suburban
Oh,
Commando. Shout out
Well,
to Hulk Hogan.
According to
Even though he's racist.
Look, I understand everyone has their feelings about this.
He also has immortal tattooed across his back.
He has Immortal tattooed across his back?
big ass, just immortal
Yeah. All right.
for the
I support
According-
anybody who has
long
a
as-
two-tone beard. He had a bleach blonde Fu Manchu or whatever the fuck.
I think you're thinking of
with dark black beard.
No,
I'm
he
talking
did
about
do
Hulk
that.
Hogan.
He did do that.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about Hulk Hogan.
I will
also
tell
thinking
you,
of Scott-
the rules
Scott
are the
Steiner.
rules. The laws have been written. Shane has made his choice.
The laws that kept changing have been written.
Suburban Commando has been removed.
It is.
I embrace the hate.
Yeah.
Boo.
Your boos only make me stronger.
Shane, too sweet me. Too sweet me. I know I established a hatred for Hulk Hogan,
This is like
but I
when
love a good
Hulk
heel.
Hogan started the NWO. Who's the third man?
All right.
It's me.
Well, Shane, thank you so much.
It wasn't the bitch.
What would you like to promote before you go?
Broken Ankles podcast.
That's right.
Shane, I changed my Instagram and Twitter names for branding. I'm now Shane Talks Funny on Twitter and Shane Looks Funny on Instagram.
Perfect.
It's easier to type.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause or boos for Shane Gale.
Fickle! Boo you!
Coming up next,
Can't
ladies
believe he
and
did that
gentlemen, a
to
round of
y'all.
applause for Fox the Devil himself, John Smith. Fox the Devil.
Hello. Honestly, that was more on you than it was Shane, Mike.
Absolutely.
You gave them that. You knew what he was going to do with that.
I absolutely did not. No, I didn't write the plot lines. I didn't know this is all real. It was a
There
choice
are two
made.
types of evil, Mike.
No, it was genuinely the. Hey, what'd you say?
I said there's two types of evil, Mike.
Yeah, there's two. The ones who stand by and let it happen are just as responsible. Yes, I get it. But it was next on the list. It was technically next on the list. And
You were just following rules.
I was just.
You were just following orders.
I was just following orders. Yeah, I am a movie bracket Nazi.
I'm
Here
sorry.
we go.
You were nice. You let me come on your show, and I came up here and implied you were a Nazi. I'm sorry.
Oh man, John, what is your experience with wrestling? Are you currently watching it?
I am not. So thinking about getting into it is kind of what Brendan
Do it.
was saying earlier.
One of us.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
of-
Because like the thing is like when I was a kid, my experience with wrestling was my cousins would like quote Hulk Hogan and punch me, like
Yeah.
and then they would tell me I'm Yokozuna because I was fat.
Oh yeah, I got
so,
that.
Like, that was my entire experience of wrestling. I was like, I
enough.
don't think I like this.
Yeah.
Wrestling video games were fucking awesome though.
Yes. Absolutely.
WCW versus NWO
Yeah.
on the 64.
WCW.
Fucking
Nitro.
awesome game.
WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
There was one on the N64 that I think it was like WCW. No, it was.
I think it's WCW NWO.
Is it that one? There
think
was
so.
one, or no, it was No Mercy or
No
something
Mercy.
like that.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
the big WWE one.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than being like 12 and like pulling a stop sign out of the crowd and beating your sister up with it. You know,
Yeah.
it's just so fucking good.
That is
love
good.
that game.
The wrestling games and were like almost kind of perfect for video games. Like the wrestling is
Yeah.
it was like real life versions of the fighting games I used to play because there's like these outlandish characters with crazy costumes and special moves and all that
Yeah.
shit. It was perfect for that.
Yeah, but I mean, I know a lot of people who really like it, and like there's artists that I follow that draw like wrestling art and stuff like that, and it's just fucking cool. Like I've seen a lot of clips, and I'm like one night I just went down like a whole like fucking
Journey, a YouTube journey.
Yeah, a journey where like it started with this clip of this guy, this woman with a thick Russian accent pretending to teach a man to read, and I was just like, I think I like wrestling now. This was just, I don't know what I just watched.
Was it,
but
was it
amazing.
from Glow? Was it from?
No, it was not from Glow. But the documentary about Glow is fucking great and made me cry.
Yeah, the documentary about Glow. The show is great, but that
Show is a lot of fun.
But that documentary literally made me emotional for Mount Fuji. Or
Yeah.
For right. There was that Mount Fiji.
Yeah,
Fuji.
Mr. Fuji.
No, Mr. Fuji, and her name was Fiji.
Oh, the wrestler. Oh, the
Yeah,
woman.
the lady wrestler that she was like the big lady.
She was-
Yeah,
And then
watch that documentary on Netflix. It's fucking great.
Yeah, man, it was definitely this like weird pocket of time for these ladies, and you could see how much they fucking loved it, and how like it was such a big deal.
No. Anything that like any documentary about a scene of any type that will like get me, I will watch the fuck out of that because you just see people passionate about a moment, and that makes me very happy.
One of those for me where I get emotional is the Bones Brigade one, the skateboarding. The with Tony Hawk and Rodney Mullen and all that shit. I loved that one, and they were talking about like when it was all over. Like every time, what Dogtown and Z Boys is also very good. Rodney Mullen.
But also, like, so Brendan mentioned this earlier. We were thinking about going to this show on Saturday night called, at House of Yes, which is Dropkicks and Drag Queens. And it is drag queens hosting it, but it's an actual like wrestling circuit thing that's going through. And I just want to fucking go, but it's also just a little bit too pricey for me to do it on this paycheck.
That's one of those things.
Oh shit, really?
Oh,
Cool.
We'll talk about it off air because include me in this. Also, host of the show.
Yeah, because
hey.
House of Yes, I want
to go watch
there was
wrestling. And drag queens.
You and I went there a little bit ago because they had a daytime like pin show. Well, Brendan was there as well, but you're not on this stage.
Yeah, we went to this thing. We were hanging out, and then you were
anyway, guys, let's talk about what you guys did without Brennan.
Yeah.
But either way, so we,
John, and Shane were at the
and we just went in there, and it was just the most aggressively gay thing I could have ever taken you to.
Yeah. It was. You were very nice. Like you were almost like concerned for my like a lifeguard.
I was
like,
concerned. Are you okay,
too?
Mike? Like,
yeah. But there was a moment where you were like, "Hey, man, are you?" I'm sorry. I was like super because at one point there was I will say this is the gayest thing I've ever seen. It was buttons. It was buttons of straight anal sex happening and prolapsed anuses.
Yeah, exactly. I was upset about that. Like I was expecting to go to a pin and be like, oh, there's like a rainbow and maybe there's a dick, but no, a complete prolapsed anus.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's
and
a lot
straight
to put.
Dick and ass with a dick on top, like full on shot, and it was a button. It was like a button, huh? It was not straight, but it was like it was one of those things. I was just saying, I was like, oh wow, that's what that is. And then afterwards, you apologized to me. I'm like, it's fine. It was, and he's like, I think that was more for you than it was for me.
You said, like it's a lot for me to go into for sure. Like it's.
Yeah,
way more for like yeah.
You know, ironically enough, being in the medical profession, the
prolapsed
anus was like right up my alley. More, I was like, that's
right up your alley.
That is a medical emergency right there. That needs intervention.
So like
this has gone so far off the rails that
I have no idea what your mother's idea of me is. I have said some fucked up shit on this now.
She I don't know. She hasn't brought you up, but we'll talk about it. Now I'm gonna ask. Hey, what do you think of this?
Every time I've said something really fucked up, you've been like, my mom listens to this. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Who knows? But
part of that's a bit, but also my mom does listen to this.
But also, real quick, you mentioned fucking MacGruber at the top of the show.
Yeah.
And I've only watched that movie once. I went to it in like a social situation where I was supposed to like be meeting people, and we were watching this movie, and I goes high as balls.
Okay.
And I had like an identity crisis.
A full panic situation?
Full panic attack, and like was just like and trying to keep cool, but like literally wanting to like just lay on the floor and scream.
In MacGruber?
Well, while watching MacGruber. It wasn't in a theater situation.
Oh, you were at someone's house or something like that.
No, it was like it was a convention. It was way weirder.
Oh wow, that is really weird. John, we gotta get to the thing. What are you ready to make a difficult decision?
Yes, absolutely.
This one maybe not so difficult. You have to choose between The Wrestler.
Okay.
With Mickey Rourke and No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred.
Okay, so one of these I actually submitted.
Oh yeah.
And it was my instant thought, and it was No Holds Barred.
That's right, baby!
Because that movie is like a cocaine snort came to life.
Yeah, that is one of the
amazing.
most insane, terrible, but can't look away movies.
It is one of my favorite bad movies.
Yeah, it is fucking phenomenal.
Hulk Hogan has superpowers in it, basically.
He rips a door. Yeah, it's crazy.
Also, because this might not get mentioned, Hulk Hogan did have a pasta restaurant called Pasta Mania.
That's it. We're just going to leave it at that. A mystery for the audience to discover on their own.
Yeah.
Pasta Mania. Well, Alice Cooper, the crazy metal Alice Cooper has like a thing called Cooper's. He's got like a race. He's got like it's like a hot dog place. Yeah. People get weird when they retire and get old and shit. I guess. John, who would you recast? Quick. What major movie role would you recast with a wrestler?
I just want to see like Macho Man Randy Savage in like a really like quiet, subtle movie, like him in like The English Patient or something.
Randy Savage in My Left Foot.
yeah. I just want to see him but in a very quiet, like serious role.
I got the perfect movie. Have you ever seen the movie Ghost World with Scarlett Johansson? Yes, he's Steve Buscemi. Replace Steve Buscemi in Ghost World
Randy Savage in Doubt.
Replace Scarlett Johansson with Randy? Maybe.
John Thorburn. She's just a teen girl feeling bad about her school.
John, thank you so much for being here. What would you like to promote before you go?
I post stuff online, artwork at Vox the Devil.
Vox the Devil.
Yeah, really crushing it lately. Ladies and gentlemen, follow him at Vox the Devil. John Smith. Thank you. Coming up next, we're going to run through this. Ladies and gentlemen, is he still here? Patrick Hasty. Ladies and gentlemen, Patrick Hasty. Patrick Hasty, fresh, just still doing his week at the creek. Is that your walk-in presentation? You just blah.
Yeah, I wanted to have a can of LaCroix to crush and make a big deal about, but they don't have it. So then I was gonna use this water cup, and then I was like, I don't want to pour this on my hoodie. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on.
You gotta do it like not into the microphone, please. Wait, what is happening? Oh!
Yeah. Did you hear that?
This is like a SeaWorld show.
Yeah. There's a splash zone.
Yeah. That's my new closer.
That's your yeah. Oh, that's it for me. Let me leave you.
I'll leave you guys on this. Hey, scooch back.
I'm going to leave you on this, and then you spit water at them.
How we doing, WrestleManiacs?
Yeah, Patrick Hasty.
Hey, bud.
What is your experience and exposure to professional wrestling?
I was cruiserweight champ, WWF 1994 to 98. I was into WCW back in the day when that one, a bunch of like the
that was
late
my
90s.
First. That was my first.
SmackDown era and stuff like that. I think that's what it's called. Not SmackDown. SmackDown's WWF.
No, it was Nitro.
I'm not into wrestling. I'm into wrestling so little I still say WWF.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with it.
That WWF, when I was a kid, I would watch it, wrestling as like a kid thing.
Yeah.
Everybody watched it as a kid.
Totally.
And then you grow up, and then I got back into it after I started doing martial arts and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then one of my friends
You
was...
a green belt?
Huh?
Are you a green belt?
A green belt? No, I'm not. I was not a green belt.
That's a fair question. I don't know why you took offense.
What color belt? No.
I'm only a high yellow belt.
Wait, you got in what?
In Taekwondo.
You got to...
Right? Purple? That's fucking huge. Damn.
He's better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I did...
Green belt's better than high yellow. I don't know why you're shrugging it off so goddamn bad.
No. I'm sorry.
Are you
I
a black
apologize.
belt in something?
No. I did mixed MMA. I did Jeet Kune Do, the Bruce Lee thing. I did different stuff. I was
Jeet Kune Do. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, say it. Well, you tell the audience about what it is that I...
Jeet Kune Do. Have you guys done... something's wrong with the podcast.
the microphone.
Yeah.
No, but that's... I got back into it, and WCW Nitro was like the one...
That was the shit.
Hogan had moved there.
When he became Hollywood Hogan, ooh.
Yeah, he was a villain.
Yeah. So I did have I had a cousin, my older cousin Krista was like a tomboy, and then in the 80s when we were little, and then she like did that. I think some girls do this sometimes. She did like a hard turn where she went from like tomboy to like girly girl, and so she loved wrestling, and she would always go to all the events in Omaha and stuff. And then when she turned to girly really quick, she gave me all of her stuff. So in like and this was like years later. So like in 93, 94, 95, I had every WWF magazine from like 82 to 89.
Oh, wow.
Right? So like that, I was not connecting with what was on TV at the time, but I like knew about all like
the history,
the steamboat and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Honky Tonk Man.
I love that. The Honky Tonk Man was like broke Elvis. So
Totally.
it was straight up an Elvis.
Hacksaw, Jim Duggan.
They all had
baby.
Yeah, they all had like gimmicks.
Mr. Perfect, totally.
Yeah.
Who's the fellow with the big ass bird? Remember that guy? Coco Beware. Did he have a bird?
No, Coco Beware had.
Somebody had a big ass bird.
Maybe was it
Scared me.
Coco?
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
There was Jake the Snake,
Yeah.
the bird.
Jake the Snake.
Coco Beware. There was
Yeah. Here's a fun thing to do to say call him Jake the Snake Robertson and just see it like make it people think that you think that's what it is.
Jake the Snake Albertson.
So I loved wrestling back then, and then in middle school that that was when Hollywood Hogan and everything, and my friends were all into it, and then I got back out of it. But a friend of mine, Gideon Hamburger, I don't know if you guys know him.
Yeah,
he's a stand-up comedian.
If people Gideon Hambright,
sure, whatever.
He runs. You guys co-produce.
We do a show called
a
Jackknife
fantastic show
Comedy.
called Jackknife here at the
It's
Creek in the
upstairs
Cave
for
in
Saturday of
Long
every month.
Queens.
He went to high school with there's a wrestler. I think his name's Cody something. Who's this wrestler?
A wrestler named Cody.
Maybe it's Roman Reigns.
Anybody?
Is that his name? Hold on. There's
Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I think it might be. I googled this earlier. He's on the pinball machine out there.
What?
Some major wrestler.
And he went to school with him?
Gideon went to high school with this fella. Yeah, Roman Reigns, right?
Roman Reigns' real name is Cody?
Yeah. Yeah,
Are
that
you
might
serious?
Be it. I think that's
Poor
right.
guy. The guy has leukemia, right? Like the guy, Roman Reigns is
Whoa,
very
I
sick.
don't know about that.
Is he
I
super
didn't-
sick, right?
I didn't come on this podcast to drag the fella.
Roman Reigns he
I
had to
might be
quit
wrong.
because
It might not
he
be
had
Roman.
leukemia. Is that
It
what?
might
That's what
not
happened,
be
right? Who's
Roman.
agreeing with me? Okay. Yes. Thank you. I only need one. I
This
need
guy
one
was
person.
this guy was like hot shit like 2 or 3 years ago. It might not be him.
Well, what is the relevant? So he just went to
Gideon
school.
went to high school with this dude, and they like knew each other. But Gideon was like the cool guy, and this guy was just like a wrestler. And then years later, Gideon's fucking doing mics, and this guy's leading the world on the ring
in WWE, like the biggest.
He was like a heavyweight champion and stuff. Everything,
Holy shit.
That's interesting. God, if I knew for sure, it's probably not Roman Reigns.
It's gotta be.
Oh, it's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Is that a guy?
His name's Vince McMahon, I think.
Yeah. Vince McMahon.
What? So we also talk
Sorry, I wish I was gone somewhere.
What's your favorite wrestler turned actor?
My favorite wrestler turned actor. I think it's probably been brought up, but Roddy Piper in They Live. That's really good, right?
That's coming
Can we
up.
talk about that?
No. You might have spoiled your choice for
me. But that's literally, I like him. I do think The Rock is doing fantastic stuff.
Yeah, he's doing all right for himself. The Rock's pretty good.
I really like Jumanji. I also there's this weird thing. I grew up a big Nebraska Cornhuskers football. You know that, by the way. We talk about the Cornhuskers a lot, John.
Sure.
And they played the Miami Hurricanes in the 90s in one of the big national championship games.
Yeah.
And when I remember watching that, there's like a perfect scene where you just see
The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson in like a little belly shirt on the sidelines when the Miami's losing. And I just remember always being like, yeah, that guy. And then a couple of years later, I was like, I think that fella's in wrestling, But it was before you could ask Jeeves about it or whatever, you know?
Sure, yeah.
It's like I think I recognized that.
That was
fella.
another reason why we loved The Rock. I
He
remember.
was a player, but they wore the belly shirts in the 90s.
Yeah,
it
it was the 90s.
midriff. Yeah, you get it.
No, but I remember he was part of he has a ring.
star.
He was a good football player, but he was definitely like a Miami guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
everyone in
yeah.
Miami fucking loved The Rock, and I remember he would buy. There was a while that he would wear the silk shirts with the chain and the glasses and all that stuff, and he would go buy those shirts from a store called Lucky's at Dayland Mall. And a friend of mine worked at Dayland Mall.
I would love one podcast where Mike doesn't hurt if I can go
Let's
on
go
about
get him
Lucky's.
now.
Yeah. Huh?
Let's go get those shirts now.
Let's go get him right now. I'll
Let's
do
do
it.
it.
Look fresh to death.
Yeah, but the thing is that you could just there was a time where you could just be at Dayland Mall and run into The Rock, like you would
There
just
was
see
a
the Rock.
time.
Yeah,
That was a song,
sure,
right?
yeah. What would you like to make a difficult
Yeah,
decision?
I'd love to make a difficult decision.
Because you kind of gave it up a little bit, but there you have to choose between They Live and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, the first
The first one with Randy Macho Man.
Bonesaw?
Bonesaw,
that's right. Yeah.
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw. Oh, golly. Be a man, Hulk. Did you guys talk about that?
What?
Has that been brought up already? I'm sorry. Macho Man put out a rap album and he diss-tracked Hulk Hogan.
What?
Be a man, Hulk. Ooh, Hollywood Hogan, Hulk Hogan, whatever they call you. You fucking talk shit about him. It's great. Go listen
Hulk
to it.
Hogan also has a rap song.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan does?
He has a whole album.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many N-bombs does he drop in his rap album? He's like, I'm allowed to. It's rap.
Yeah. Man, Bubba the Love Sponge really ruined that guy. Like nobody planned. Like when he was like starting at DJ school, radio school, and he's like, I need a call sign. I'll be Bubba the Love Sponge. He didn't know that was gonna be like in the Wall Street Journal. You know?
Yeah,
it's fucking nuts.
Can you call me Richard? My name is Richard.
Yeah.
Richard the Love Sponge.
And you can't change. I used to know there's this DJ named there was Free Beer and Hot Wings. They were like a team.
Free Beer and Hot Wings.
Yeah, and they're still a team, but now they're just like old dudes who have to keep calling them that. You know. So like Hot Wings. How was your kid's bar mitzvah? You know, it's like Jesus.
Yeah, like there's like a guy like you start your career and you're like, my name's Fart Blast.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, what's your happy 50-year retirement? Your
Fart
gold
Blast.
watch. Here you go, Fart Blast.
Oh no,
You know what? They made their beds.
Yeah. We got to GoFundMe. Fart Blast has got leukemia, so
But
you know, it's all about branding. You know.
Patrick, you have to choose.
Yeah,
Enough dilly dally.
Okay, but see, this is the problem I have with things like this, with the March Madness stuff where you got to choose.
Yeah.
Because my answer, am I supposed to pick my answer or the answer of the people?
We've established it is literally whoever is sitting right here.
Okay,
your criteria.
Regardless, I'll say it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a better movie.
Okay,
Because that's what I'm doing. I'm going with Spider-Man.
You're going with the better movie.
I'm saying Spider. I don't know. Am I supposed to choose which one moves on?
Yes.
Spider-Man moves on. Spider-Man's a much.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's a
moving on to
great
the next
film,
round.
But
Spider-Man.
They Live is really good. But it's like They Live is a great cool genre film.
It's a
Spider-Man's
campy
like a
movie.
fantastic film that holds the test of time and will always be cited.
It'll always hold the test of time. Maybe. What? So
you're talking about the Amazing Spider-Man with
Tobey Maguire.
With Garfield.
With Garfield. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about the Tobey
Bill
Maguire
Murray
one.
does the voice of Spider-Man.
Yeah. Brian Doyle's brother. Yeah.
Okay. Finally, what major actor played like a big Oscar-nominated role would you like to see replaced by a wrestler, and which wrestler would you like to see play it?
That's a good one.
First one that comes to mind.
Lincoln.
Yes.
In that film, Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Yeah. And I want to see Lincoln played by Buff Bagwell. Right? And as our 16th president, Buff the Stuff Bagwell. Yeah.
You so far are winning tonight as the best guest of the evening so far.
Scott, I want to just Scott Steiner. He gets to be Johnson. Big Papa Pump. That's right.
Big Papa Pump gets to be who?
He's Johnson. VP. You know.
Yes. So it's. But I like how you put Buff Bagwell as the. He's
Buff's
got
the
it.
stuff,
Never
baby.
mind. That's perfect.
Buff's the
Patrick.
stuff. Yeah.
What would you like to promote before?
I would like to promote. I have a fantastic stand-up comedy podcast. Well, that's not true.
It's great.
But we don't call it a stand-up comedy podcast. I don't know what I was saying.
No, you have a lot of stand-ups on there.
I have a podcast called The Nostalgic Front. It's very good. It's all over the internet. If you guys like this, you'll like it. We have a wonderful. If you're listening in just because you saw a hashtag about wrestling, we have a great fun size where we talk about pro wrestling with John Rosenberger.
Yeah.
Who's like if you guys know John, he's a great diehard wrestling fan.
He
we
did
talked about that.
our Zeros on Heroes about Mick Foley.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, he
that
loves
guy's
wrestling.
great. Mankind. Remember that guy?
Mankind, yeah.
Oof.
And Dude Love.
Dude Love, yeah, that's right. And Cactus Jack, that's the other one. But you can listen to that. It's great. We do it every week. We have great guests. We do 2 episodes. Guest on Mondays, fun size episode on Thursday. We're talking about anything. Our 100th episode is coming up like in a week.
Oh, wow.
Or 2 weeks, which is
Congratulations.
actually our 200th episode because we do too fucking many of these shows. But
It's
go listen
called
to that on
The Nostalgic Front. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Patrick Hasty.
Yeah, baby.
Buff motherfucking Bagwell. Good God. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to the stage, give it up for Donnie Sangstad. Donnie! You've been waiting patiently.
Got it. Woo, we did it.
You're here and you're part of the show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Donnie, what is your experience with professional wrestling?
Like zero.
You've never
I've
seen
never
any?
seen any of it. No.
Do you? So, what do you think is
I've
going
been here
on?
for 2 hours waiting to tell everyone. I don't get it. I don't get it. I've never seen it. No.
This is what stand-up comedy is: waiting 2 hours to do some bullshit podcast and be like, "What's the topic? I don't fucking know."
Yeah. No, I know stuff.
But what is your like the first thing you think of when you think of pro wrestling?
The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played one of the video games once at my neighbor's house.
Sure.
There was a big cage.
Yes, there is a big
that was
sometimes there's a
fun.
cage.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. It felt like Super Smash Brothers, but with people.
Yes.
Were you
When you
playing
played-
what system?
Xbox 360.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so it was like a
that's-
newer one where it
yeah.
still looks real. It wasn't.
Yeah.
My favorite is when you would like play like the old like I had a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo and the N64, but even even the like Nintendo ones, it was like bad where it was just like a pixelated thing and you were like, that's Hulk Hogan, sure.
Yeah.
That's the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. But now they actually look like that.
Yeah. No, it felt like Madden if there were no pads and they're just fighting each other. That was good. That's what it looked like.
Okay.
Which is great. I think that's a better Madden.
Do you remember? Yeah. That's how they should do it. They should just do it like that.
XFL baby coming 2021.
It's coming back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vince. So yeah, there's going to be like that was a big deal too. Like when the XFL started, they were like it got the hugest ratings on that first game, and then everyone was like, "Well, that's enough of that." You know, like, we're going back to the regular one.
Well, he hate me.
Yes,
that was a star. They only gave him a nickname.
You could put your whatever you wanted on the back of your jersey, not just your name.
Cool. That's really nice. Well, they just started another football, like the American Alliance of American Football.
It's gone.
It's already gone after like 8 games, which also like don't name your league after something that sounds like it was named by a drunk British guy trying to remember the name of the NFL. It's like
it's like the Super Bowl is from the the Department of Football Science. What is it? The Department of League
That's never a
league
good
play football.
That's never a good sign. It's like, hey, honey, I got signed to a pro league. Oh my God, the NFL. No, it was the USCF, and she's like, "Fuck it, God damn it,
Too many letters. You didn't even get to the F or the L yet."
The league folds before you say what the acronym stands for.
Donnie, do you have a favorite wrestler turned actor? Like a wrestler in a movie that you're like, oh.
I mean, I don't really know any of the wrestlers, but like obviously I know The Rock. And has anybody brought up the Will Ferrell movie? No, the other guys.
The other guys.
Yeah. Wait, the Rock is in that for a very little bit. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Him and Samuel L. Jackson are in it at the beginning. They're like the super cops.
Yeah.
And then
because you think it's supposed to be them, right?
Yeah.
They're like the hotshot cops, and they just throw themselves off a building and they die, and that's it.
They think they're so hot shit that they're like aim for the bushes from like a 30-story building. That's what. And then it's like, there goes my hero, and then
Foo Fighters.
boom, and it fucking,
they just die. And then it cuts to their funeral, and they're like, "Oh God, that's the best."
I honestly, you know what? I think The Rock doesn't get a lot of credit for comedy either. But he's like super funny. He was some of the best on the mic. He's very charismatic. But on SNL, The Rock is
Saturday
hilarious.
Night Live.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No, I was talking about the Sub Football National League.
Yeah, honey, I'm on the SNL. Oh fuck, I'm Nick folded.
SFNL. No, but when he was the Rock Obama and he was like all that shit. He was very funny.
Yeah.
What, Donnie? You ready to make some tough decisions?
Right. Yeah. Let's do it.
Because guess what? We're in the second round, baby.
Oh, very good.
It's coming down to the wire. Not really, but here we go. You have to choose between. Now this is for wrestlers in movies.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy versus Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're technically both they're Marvel movies, but they have wrestlers in them.
Yeah.
Talk us through it. You've seen both of these movies?
I've seen neither of them.
Really?
Yeah. No, I've seen none of the movies except for Blazing Saddles. That's the only one I've seen, and it's really hard. But I'm gonna.
What do you think they're about?
Well, one of them's about Spider-Man.
Yes.
Doing his thing, slanging webs and protecting the city, being friendly in the neighborhood.
Sure. I like that you're just drifting off. You're like, yeah, he's Spider-Man. He's
Yeah.
City.
The other group, well, they've got a lot more, galaxy to look after.
Friendly their friendly neighborhood is much bigger because it's a whole galaxy.
So that's a lot more impressive.
So which one are you decide? What's moving on to the next round?
I would say the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Which wrestlers were in those movies?
Drax is a wrestler, the guy who plays the big green guy. He's in the majority. He's like a lead.
Big green guy?
He's blue and red.
Are you thinking of the Hulk?
No, yeah, I'm thinking of Hulk. Blue and red.
Batista.
He's a wrestler, but he's actually like a major character in the whole thing. Spider-Man has like 5 minutes of Randy Macho Man Savage. So I think
cool. That's
I personally stamp of approval on that one. I think.
I knew it.
Yep, success.
Well researched.
So what famous movie role would you like to recast with an actor, with a wrestler?
Well, I think I don't really have a choice. Like, which wrestler would be best for the King's speech? For the King.
Oh, for the stutter speech?
That's kind of what I've been waiting for all night. Which one? Like Stone Cold Steve Austin? Just doing.
Oh, there is a wrestler with a stutter.
Wait, somebody told me that Vince McMahon thinks it's hilarious when people stutter. Someone told me that. Wait
a minute. You mean the Republican billionaire who's friends with our horrific president also likes making fun of people?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like specifically, he has a thing for like thinking when people stutter, it's very funny.
Oh no!
Like someone told me about that. It's like
Does anybody know there had to have been a stuttering? Yeah, that's right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Who, The Rock?
Yeah. I'm
The Rock or Vince McMahon?
Maybe I don't know the whoever the other wrestler was. Maybe
Jesus.
I don't know, but suddenly you've got us all thinking, Donnie.
Yeah.
That's is that what your goal was? To
Yeah.
rack our brains.
Yeah. Well, no. My goal is just get the word out there about the King's Speech. I don't think enough people have seen it, and it's kind of gone out. Like, sorry, the King's Speech. Sorry, the King's Speech isn't in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're not going to get a second one.
We don't know that yet. Phase 4.
Look, I'll be honest with you. Technically, if it's set on Earth, it's part of the cinematic universe. Marvel is also on Earth.
Now, here's what I'm thinking, Donnie. Now, I don't know who your management is. I don't want to fucking cross lanes here, but if we can't find a wrestler to do the reboot of the King's Speech, I mean, I know a guy who's a pretty good actor and has a stutter.
You are like the whitest guy.
Yeah, I think so. You guys.
I also want to say real quick, it's Seth Rollins is the guy that Gideon Hamburger went to high school with.
Oh, Seth Rollins.
You guys know who that guy is?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's it. All right.
Okay. So we've recast the King's Speech.
As me.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's where that works.
So step one, we got to get you into a professional wrestling career,
Yeah.
then into the King's Speech reboot. Guys, it's 2 steps. It's just 2 steps.
Very easy.
We got it. Donnie, is there anything you'd like to promote before you go?
No, I got he shows doing a show called Church Night at the Gutter in Williamsburg on Sunday. That's at 8 p.m. So come check that out. That's a good one.
Where can they follow you?
Follow me on Twitter at Don Sangstack. Twitter and Instagram, all of them. Yeah, I'm Donnie. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Donnie Sangstack. Coming up next, good Lord, this going on. Give it over, Luigi! Luigi! Did I say that right? Yeah. What's up, buddy?
Switch him?
Yeah. For the podcast listener, Luigi is wearing an Andre the Giant t-shirt.
Yeah.
My hero. I fucking love Andre the Giant. As much as I hate Shane's decision to remove the Princess Bride, I respect it. Because I respect the rules.
Andre
I respect
wasn't
the
at his
rules.
best in that movie.
I'm the wrestler that follows the rules, even though it's causing horrible things to happen. That's fine. Luigi, thank you for being here. It's your first time on the show.
Yeah, this is my first time being here, man.
I appreciate
have a weird
it.
relationship with irony. I just wore this T-shirt today.
Yeah, you walked in. You're like, "What's the show about?" I'm like, "Wrestling," and you're like, "Hold on, finally, it pays off." And you pull what is your experience, your exposure to professional wrestling?
For like years, for like ages 7 to about 13, my pattern was Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Walker, Texas Ranger, and then Monday Night Raw, Nitro, SmackDown,
Yeah.
either or on that night.
Yeah,
For years, that was my pattern.
How pivotal was the Walker Texas Ranger bridge?
Well, it was easy because it was on the same channel, USA.
You just watched it all the way
Yeah,
through.
it would just go right after Walker would be Monday Night Raw.
On
And it was
USA.
all due to my grandmother,
Yeah.
all due to her.
Because she also welcomed characters.
Because she really liked guys
Thank
barely
you,
wearing
Patrick
anything.
Casey.
I figured it out later on in life. She loved wrestling, but I really noticed that she used to call some of them her boyfriend, and
Oh, so she
the less he was
liked
wearing,
wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The less he was- so
She's like, if you like it so much, why don't you marry it? Wrestling.
yeah,
She
exactly.
liked
She used
it.
to call Rey Mysterio her boyfriend. That was her
Rey
boyfriend.
Mysterio.
Yeah, she loved
Interesting.
him.
She liked
Yeah.
the little fly around ones.
Yeah, she really loved him because they unmasked him and then she fell in love. You remember?
Really?
When they unmasked him at WCW?
He's a pretty little Mexican guy. You
Yeah,
know,
man, he had nice hair.
That's very dramatic. So he wore a mask and then he took it off.
No, they unmasked him. It was
That's a
Scott
huge-
Hall and
Now, this is something I do know about
Big Daddy
wrestling.
Cool.
In Lucha Libre, in the Mexican wrestling, if you're a masked character, you do not live as that person without the mask on. So, like in Nacho Libre, when you see people walking around with the mask on, that shit's true. Like they live with that fucking mask on if they are in public, and they're like, if they don't have the mask on, they're not allowed to, like, they don't use that name. It's like a secret. It's like Batman, secret identity, and all that shit. So to have yourself unmasked in the ring is like a huge deal.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's like a huge affront. It's like disrespectful.
They power bombed him, beat his ass, and then he had to take the mask off. Man, he lost the bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And your grandmother fell in love.
Yeah, and she was just like, "That's my boyfriend." And from there, he
Wow.
was kicking ass.
Where are you from originally?
Queens, man.
You're from-
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, but I watched a good portion of my wrestling and gave a few people the Stone Cold Stunner in recess.
Did you
playgrounds of
okay? So
Queens.
we haven't talked about this much earlier. We did, but like that was like the line to cut off because they thought that they were gonna. Who was it that said that they thought that they were gonna like murder their brother or sister?
Yeah.
Did you do Stone Cold Stunners and
I used to
wrestling moves?
stunner kids in the middle of basketball games. Like we would be outside on the playground, and seriously, if you weren't paying attention, you could catch a stunner.
Yeah,
Yeah,
RKO out of nowhere.
Yeah, easily on my ass and everything. Usually, I got hurt.
That
'cause of
shit
my ass.
hurts.
Yeah.
Like it's not on if you do it right. Like if
Yeah.
you do it like on a fucking ring where that has give.
Yeah.
Then it may,
No,
may
this
not
was
hurt that much.
concrete, bro. Concrete, assed out, just booms for the cause, man, for the culture.
But there are certain like moves. Like I understand the rock bottom. I understand.
Yeah.
And even if you do the pedigree, like the Triple H pedigree, the stunner never looked like it really. Like how is that hurting the other person?
That you got to really like Stone Cold never described it, but you know that part on your shoulder that's a little sharp.
Yeah,
you got to make sure the guy's nose hits that right there, and he's stunned for real. That's
Yeah.
why it's the stunner.
And you did it to somebody. Did they live?
I only caught one person really, really good with it, and it was my older cousin because he was off guard, and he's kicked my ass every day. So it paid off that day.
I never was able. I was never the one that pulled the wrestling. I was always a big kid, you know. But my brother would was like a bully.
Yeah.
And I remember the only real wrestling thing I did to him was at one point I hit him with a chair in front of company. We were at a party or something like that, and I got so mad, and I hit my brother with a chair, WWF style.
Is it a folding chair?
It was. It was. Like,
I knew one thing. There it is.
Yeah, that's right.
You like they have those in abundance.
Yeah, here's the problem. It was a wooden folding chair and not one of those aluminum ones.
Yeah.
And I've smacked the shit out of my brother with that.
I didn't hit nobody with a chair yet.
No.
I fell through a table.
Do you have a favorite wrestler turned actor? Let's bridge this into Hollywood.
You know what? I recently read an interview where Batista was actually talking about taking his time, unlike The Rock, so that he could really get into acting. So I'm gonna go with Batista. I'm gonna go with Batista because
I'm
I think
telling you,
he's really playing these roles.
In 5 years, Oscar, Academy Award winning actor Dave Batista.
He actually came at The Rock. He said, The Rock is doing great, but I don't think he's a great actor. And I'm actually trying to be a great actor. So
If only there was some way they could fight.
Oh man, do you remember when WWE or WWF had the actual like brawl for it all, the where they were like doing tough man boxing?
Yeah,
and Butterbean was there.
Yeah,
you remember that shit where they were like fighting for real?
Yeah, man. But they weren't that good at it.
No,
a few of
they
those
were just
guys,
like
they were swinging like
like
Butterbean
was
girls
not
in that era. Girls these days could swing.
Yeah,
but
the
like that.
But the guys that were like Butterbean went in there and he was fucking people up.
Yeah, Butterbean was fucking people up all over the place though.
And then there was and then like there are times where you see there's like videos that I've seen online of like when Brock Lesnar took like a weird hit from somebody and got mad and literally punched this guy right in the fucking face. What? Oh, Brock Lesnar?
Really?
Brock is real
Wait,
though.
okay, hold on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What
Luigi. So you're saying that you want to recast the King's Speech, but instead of whatever what's that actor's name? The King's
Colin Firth.
Oh, yeah, Colin Firth.
Yeah.
You want it to be Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that'll work.
Absolutely.
Donnie, I'm
No
here for
reservations.
it. I
Yeah.
am here for it, Donnie. Thank you.
I think it'll work.
A wonderful thing you've brought into my
I
life.
think the Nazis would have been a little more intimidated.
Some tells me Brock Lesnar had a stutter.
They would have thought twice, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Brock
That's
Lesnar was
fucking
actually
good.
in the
Even if he
NFL. That's a
stuttered.
real athlete right there. He was in the NFL, went to wrestling. Sorry, I can't call it fake. But
He went into sports entertainment.
and then he actually went and kicked people's asses in UFC.
He went into UFC,
Like, he was
yeah.
really fucking people up, champion and everything.
What? Well, just say it. I'll- Oh wow! So
that
they
sounds like someone with a stutter.
yeah, they should have they shouldn't have told him that they wanted to do a stutter gimmick, and then we're like,
yeah.
hey, there's a lot of pressure on you. There's a lot riding on this. Your mic
Yeah.
skills have to be perfect. Okay, go.
Yeah.
And then he's like, but
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry.
But Batista's definitely. I think I completely agree with that. Academy Award nominee, Batista.
Dave
I
Batista.
see that happening for real.
Are you ready
He's
to
serious.
make a tough decision then?
Yeah, man. I'm down.
You're gonna have
I'm
to
ready.
choose between No Holds Barred versus The Rundown. Have you seen either of these movies?
I've seen The Rundown. No Holds Barred just sounds dope, though.
No Holds Barred is, I'm not going to say it's not terrible, but it's also amazing. Like, it's
Like the
both.
fact that it was described as a co-kid in a movie, I was just like, wow.
Yes.
Really? I gotta see that.
I challenge anyone, Luigi, I challenge anyone to watch that movie and be like, no, those people weren't on drugs. Of course not. No. It's bonkers. So what do you choose?
I gotta go with The Rundown, man. I've seen it. I've seen it, man.
I enjoy the run. Christopher
It was pretty
Walken's
good.
amazing in it.
Yeah.
And it was with The Rock and Sean William Scott.
Yeah. All he's
Yeah.
trying to do is save his hood. I'm like, and I believe in that, man. That's like the story of Nipsey Hussle.
So who? Yeah,
RIP,
The
rest his
Rundown.
soul.
You haven't seen The Rundown? It's great. Rosario Dawson is in it. She's great. Everybody, it's awesome.
Yeah, man.
What is a movie, a classic cinematic role that you would like to recast with an actor?
Yeah, I got two of those. I got
with a
two
wrestler.
of those.
Wrestler, yeah.
The Malcolm X movie. It's not one actor. I would take the whole Nation of Islam and replace it with the Nation of Domination.
Yes. Yes.
Which was consisted of
This
The
is-
Rock, Viscera, Farouk, and Bradshaw. So there's a white man in the Nation of Islam
Yes.
in this movie.
Farouk
so
and
it just makes
Bradshaw.
it better. And Malcolm X does not die because they kick ass. And protect their own.
I like it. I hope
the
Vince
second
McMahon
one-
is listening to this because he owns the rights to all these characters. You got to make this shit happen.
The next one, I would take the Dudley brothers and put them in the Boondock Saints. Real talk. Just start putting people through tables instead of shooting them. Real talk, man.
So the
I'm down
Dudley
with that.
Boys are going to be in Shepherds We Shall Be.
Yes,
For
and
but
with the
it'll
prayers
just
and
be
everything.
Devon get the table.
Yeah, get the tables. Exactly. I would love to see
yeah,
that.
dude. That's great,
Yeah,
man.
I love them.
Thank you so much for being
Yeah,
here.
thank
What
you,
would you
man.
like to
I appreciate it.
You're going to promote some stuff and then slide over to be guest host. So
Okay,
what would you like to promote before you go? Anything.
April 14th, I have a show at the local New York, which is not far from the Creek and the Cave. It's about 5 minutes away. April
Yeah.
14th at 8. Come check that out. We have dope comics on there. We have Carolyn Castiglia, Chanel Ali, Reggie Thomas.
Oh, Chanel's great.
It's going to be really dope, fun. April 14th. I said October because that's my birthday. April 14th, though, in a couple of days. So if you could come out to that, any of you guys come out, bring a friend. It'd be dope.
Where can they follow you?
Luigi, and it's LULUIDJI on Instagram, and from Instagram you'll find me on Facebook or Twitter. Either way, it'd be
Awesome.
pretty cool.
Thank you so much for being here, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you
A round of
very
applause for
much, man.
Luigi.
Yeah, long live Andre.
Yeah. Put that right down there. Thank you so much, Donnie. Good job. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ryan Papazia.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, brother.
What's up, buddy?
What is up, guys?
We're talking about wrestling.
Fucking wrestling, man. Hell yeah.
You look like you're.
Yeah.
No, I was surprised Donnie doesn't know anything about. I felt like Donnie would be a kid that would be. I was trying to like judge like who I thought would be like really into it. Like I thought you would be. I thought like
Well, I that's the thing. I was there. It's a time period in my life thing. Like I'm not like a wrestling person forever.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was great, and then just kind of like lost interest.
See, okay, you want to know something that's fucking weird?
What's your
my whole relationship with wrestling? I'm the opposite. When I was a kid, I hated it, and now I kind of like it. Like it's so strange. I don't know. Like I watch clips now of like different like
You don't
the
take
clip
as
of
much steroids now, bro.
what?
You don't take as much steroids. It's not as.
I don't care, but I still laugh. I think as I laugh more at it, like the watching was it Stone Cold when he was like fucking giving the Stone Cold Stunner to Vince McMahon and like his whole family. Yeah. Oh man.
And, okay, so his whole family is involved. Stephanie McMahon is now like in charge of shit.
Yeah.
But his son Shane McMahon, when I was watching it, he was crazier than everybody else. He went off the top of a Hell in a Cell. Shane McMahon did some crazy ass shit
For the business, for the cause, bro.
Yeah. So that all that stuff, like I actually like. So it's weird. You know what? It's strange because that's like I felt like. Here's a thought I had when I was like 11 years old, and I just remembered it when we were like, just this whole thing has brought up so many weird fucking memories. So like, you know when kids used to wear those wrestling shirts that like Stone Cold, like the one that took up the whole shirt, had like the wrestler on it, dude. I swear to God, this was a thought I had. I was like, oh, this kid's never getting laid. That was the thought I had as like 11. I was like, how the fuck, and that's weird that it came back up, and now I like wrestling, and actually. Who brought up was Donnie.
So you're saying you've given up on getting laid?
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that shit. Actually, you want to know something that's funny? So there was a moment, remember that, what's WrestleMania? It was for PS3. I bought the game, but like I was like 26.
Sure. I don't know which game it was, but I understand.
One of them.
One of the wrestling ones.
Yeah, and I actually like almost got broken up with because I wasn't returning her text messages. And I was like, you realize I'm wrestling? And I even said this to her because she's like, why aren't you responding? Why aren't you responding? I'm like, shit's getting crazy. I'm taking down 32 Undertakers because you could have the same wrestler like 32 times. And I did like the Undertaker 32 times and she didn't get it at all.
You don't understand, babe. I got to do this.
So yeah, wrestling to me now it's fucking weird, dude. It's like, I have a weird like Dickie Roberts thing where I try to like relive what I missed in my youth.
Sure. No, I understand that. There's part of me that wants to like get into like what John Rosenberger, the aforementioned comedian, is very funny. He's a guest on Nostalgic Front and on the Zeros on Heroes show. He goes to a lot of local, smaller venue wrestling, which is supposed to be super fun. And I'm like, part of that to me is interesting now. Not the big market, like the WWE shit. I don't really care about that. But I would love to see like homegrown wrestling, like the people who are one step above the backyard wrestling shit.
Yeah, there's something interesting about so maybe too just being in comedy and like understanding like I don't know, just like being in something where you're. Yeah, it's kind of cool, like to kind of understand like what else goes on like behind the scenes.
I want to go to a wrestling open mic. Is essentially
exactly, dude. That's exactly what I'm trying to get
at. I want to go see someone work out a move. Like I want to go see the struggle. Yeah, I think so.
But
do you have a favorite wrestler turned actor?
Roddy Piper, and I liked him in It's Always Sunny in that episode. Dude, I thought he was so funny. They were like, I think I'm trying to remember this. Weren't they like paying him and he kept trying to leave or whatever, and they had to like bring him back, but like he would try to take the money or something?
They were having I remember that it was like an interesting production. I heard an interview where they were like, he was there and they didn't know if he was fully aware of what he was supposed to be doing, because he was always like fucking around and then he would like fuck off and disappear, and they're like, where's Roddy? We need him for a shoot or something like that. And then they'd find him somewhere later and he'd be like, oh right, and then he'd come back.
Yeah, but I felt like he was doing that in the show too. Like he was almost like he was doing what he was doing on camera and off camera was the same thing.
Exactly. That's what,
like he was not acting. That was some serious shit.
He was doing some like he was supposed to be like this weird threatening character, and he was like in real life also equally weird.
Yeah.
But it wasn't threat. It was more just like he was just like he would not care. Like he would just like walk away. Yeah. And like disappear. Like that's why you said when you said he would walk away, I was like, yeah, they would have to go looking for him, or he was like at like just wandering around the set.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
because they were shooting in Philly.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I mean, but dude, that's what happens when you get your head smashed in.
Yeah, that is the sad part.
And by the
about a
way,
lot of-
wrestling's fake. I don't know. Yeah, talk to some of those guys. I don't think it's fake.
Well, it's fake in the sense that it's like predetermined, but
Yeah.
that's when I said it was a stunt show. It's like watching a live stunt show, like when you would go to Universal Studios and then they would do like backflips and shit, and someone would jump off a building and land in some boxes and stuff like that. They would have a fake fight or whatever. It's the same kind of thing, but like on TV and up close and personal. So they had to take like bumps and shit.
Yeah. So with that, which is weird that like I appreciate that now. I like I said, I would feel like it should be opposite, but I don't know.
Are you ready to make some tough decisions?
Yeah.
You have to choose between. This is the Arnold Schwarzenegger bracket: Predator versus The Running Man. Which role did Jesse the Body Ventura embody the best? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, Predator. I thought.
Yeah.
You're gonna pick Predator over Running Man?
Yeah.
Solid choice. Predator moves on to the next round.
Dope.
Which famous role in cinema
Dude,
would you replace with a wrestler?
Okay, so I thought about this, and I don't know. Maybe it's because there's some. Maybe it's just the Middle Eastern in me coming out, but I want to see the Iron Sheik in Zero Dark 30. I think that'd be fucking. I don't know. I just feel like that would be.
I would hope Iron
just
Sheik
giving
is
a
not
seal
now.
the camel clutch. I don't know. I feel like that'd be kind of funny.
But the Iron Sheik now,
Yeah, now actually, right now,
like old man Iron Sheik,
they're
he's so
hunting him
fucked
down
up.
because they're like, yeah.
That is remarkably.
I actually like the Iron Sheik too. I think he's a fucking that guy's awesome.
He's great on Twitter.
Yeah,
he just calls everyone Bubba and motherfucker, and he just says
Don't
like,
you guys think
jumperoni.
like Stone Cold could like replace Samuel Jackson in every movie he's played? I think that'd be great as well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like Snakes on the Plane, I'd love to see.
Yeah.
These snakes aren't gonna kill me.
You know what? I'm going to give you another one because we have a couple more. What of these two modern masterpieces, Suburban Commando or Ready to Rumble?
Oh my God, you picked like two movies. I've seen a lot of the other ones, but these. Oh my dude, I haven't seen both these movies.
I don't know which. I like. I understand.
Ready
I know
to
what
Rumble.
I think the right choice is, but it's not about me. It's about you
Now
in
it's
this
just like
seat right now.
If people get all weird about it, this bracket that doesn't affect humanity at all. But
how dare you, sir? How dare you?
I know, just bragging rights for whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope you do. I
There's
really
an
do.
entire gambling community that listens to
my
this show.
kids' college funds on this shit. Oh, what is it? Ready to Rumble? Or is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pick that.
Ready to Rumble moves on
That's
to
the
the
right
next
choice?
round.
I don't
Oh
know.
boy. Oh shit! Do you want to promote anything?
I gotta. Yeah, sure. No, I got a show at the late April 25th. All right, 9 p.m.
And they can follow you at Ryan Papazian.
Yeah, Ryan Papazian. That's it. There's only one. It's me.
It's
All right.
you, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Papazian. Coming up next, a round of applause for Alex Murray.
Oh yeah. Dude, I hope he's so disappointed.
Thank you, Luigi.
If you said you've never watched wrestling, I'd be like, dude, my head would explode.
Yeah, no, it tracks for sure.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
part of the brand. Yeah,
Alex, welcome to the show.
inescapable. Yeah.
We're closing it out. What is your exposure? What is your history with professional
I
wrestling?
was very exposed. I mean, I perhaps traumatized by it.
Overexposed?
Like we for sure, like a lot of irresponsible wrestling moves, like on each other in the backyard on trampolines. Like someone probably should have gotten more hurt than they ever did.
Yeah, absolutely.
My poor little brother took like many diamond cutters. And that's not a safe thing to do to a human being.
Or like,
We have necks that can just snap.
Or like bounce houses. Every time there's a bounce
Oh,
house,
yes.
it was just like push the kid, do the what was that thing? The
Stiff
clothesline.
arm people, yeah,
The clothesline.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a friend with the trampoline with the like cage around it, right? It's
Yeah,
the safety screen, and that was just a thing that you could, you just bounce your little brother off of it with your foot a couple times. It was awesome, but I mean, like growing up. I watched it. I watched lots of wrestling with my friends. The whole Goldberg, like I was more WCW Goldberg.
At the beginning, I was too. I enjoyed it more, and then I pivoted over.
And then I loved the Wolfpack and the NWO and Sting and all that, and that shit was it's fucking rad. But we also like, oh man, we could go to. There was there was a place down Highway 53 called Jimmy's Bar and Grill, and they had backyard wrestling in it, and it was in
This sounds entirely safe and reputable. It
was awesome because it was in a barn out back of Jimmy's. Like there was a bar, and then you'd go out back, and there was a barn that they'd turn into a little wrestling
Holy
arena.
shit.
And it was rad because the ceiling, the ceiling of the barn was only about, I don't know, 9 feet off the deck of the wrestling ring, and people would incorporate the roof into their routine. So people would jump up and then leg lock each other and flip them over and shit all the time. It was awesome, and people got this is the working on my tight 5 of wrestling, right?
Sure,
You know what I'm saying?
sure.
So people were fucking up left and right, man. People got hurt. They would just no, stop, time out, fucking time out in wrestling. No, my nose is broken as shit. No, we gotta take a second.
That was like the next level, because there was like WCW and WWE were like the two biggest ones, and then there was ECW.
Yeah, I'm talking about shit that doesn't have not one fucking letter.
Wait.
This is just wrestling out back of Jimmy's.
No, but then this was also the time of peak mail order videos of backyard wrestling. There was like two Girls Gone Wild, Jerry Springer, Too Hot for TV, and backyard wrestling. That was all you saw ads for late night.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that I was above it. I was like, oh, I'm never gonna do it. I totally did. I worked at a Best Buy, right?
Nice.
And we would get big boxes, and we had giant ladders, and we were into wrestling. So guess what? Someone's getting choke slammed through a table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone's getting thrown off that ladder into some boxes. And at one of the managers' meetings, they were like, hey, we gotta not, And then,
who broke the ping pong table?
Yeah, they made an announcement. So in the meeting, they made an announcement, and then
the weird workers' comp suit,
crazy. And then the sales manager took us into like another room with a TV, and they had videoed the last month's meeting where we smashed somebody through a table, and we're like, "Yo, we edited it," and then they edited it on the computers that we had in the home office department. And we did all of that shit. Like we had all of that shit.
That's
we went
so good.
nuts in that place.
That's very good.
But we also it was Florida, so like there was chance that
there aren't any rules.
Yeah, there's no rules. But there was also a chance because there's so many wrestling schools in Florida.
Sure.
That there was a guy
that tracks.
One of the loss prevention guys. He's like, yeah, I'm going to study in Tampa to go. I want to be a wrestler.
Going
and we're
to
like,
study.
Yeah, that's what
I've
he called
been accepted.
Who's your favorite a wrestler turned actor? We're going to big screen now.
Yeah, I mean, the same. Like, really, we've only said about 4 or 5 people all night, right? That's it.
There are
the
others.
The Princess Bride's fucking undeniable.
The
Just
Princess Bride.
Like anybody want a peanut wins. Like that's it right there. Like totally.
Rest well and dream of large women. Yeah.
I've got 3 people, and he is just himself. Like, just so fucking good. And there they were, 4 white horses. I thought there's 4 of us if we find the lady.
Yeah.
Hello, lady. So goddamn good.
Yeah.
So quotable. So like that's gonna. I mean, Andre, the man.
He
like,
is.
So
He is
good.
the best. I mean, yeah. There's so much. God, he was like there. So when I posted the thing about on Facebook, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, where for the suggestions, I just ended up with me watching Andre the Giant documentaries. I just watched his life. He was such a mythical figure. Like he was like there's like legends of the guy where he's like You go look at
Ripley's
interviews.
Believe It or Not ass fucking insanely freak.
Yeah.
Where's his statue? Doesn't he have a statue somewhere?
I hope so.
Multiple. Yeah.
I mean, but also
he does have a statue.
There's motherfucking a million people walking around with him on a shirt. That's his statue.
No, but it's like life size. It's so
he's got to have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame, right? Does
I don't
he have
know.
a star?
I don't know.
Toby,
Maybe.
does he have a star?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he does.
Oh.
Well, then I'm gonna give me a star. How much they cost?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start a GoFundMe right now. I need one.
I got a Chase credit card I don't use.
Yeah.
I don't care about consequences at all.
They give me $15K, so whatever.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All right, well, I'll get 4 of them.
Alex, are you ready to make some
Doesn't add
tough
up.
decisions?
I mean, yeah, I love that. Like the we're not really super duper worried about the like. I've seen people just go ape shit about the brackets, but at this point we're like, Shane ruined it again. But yeah, what are we doing?
No, it's fine. You have to choose. This is next on the list.
Yeah,
you have to choose between Guardians of the Galaxy versus
a
The
very good one.
Rundown.
All right.
Now, you have already said...
I would like to say very quickly that I went and saw Ready to Rumble in the theaters. A trip was planned to go see Ready to Rumble. I looked forward to Ready to Rumble.
That's why I didn't give it to you.
Yeah, I know. And I don't need to make that decision. I mean, this decision's not a problem at all. Because wait, what was the first one?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
It's so good. Like Batista says, like it really that character is Drax is fully realized.
It's fully exactly,
and
he is great. He has an emotional motivation. He killed his wife and his daughter.
Also,
he has an emotional scene where he talks about it.
Where they like you've been watching this movie, and remember, like the first one, we hadn't seen any of these movies yet, right? Like when you went to see the first one in the theaters, like I wasn't ready. I was like, holy shit, this is what all these movies should be. And when it's you're invested and you're there with them, and they like land in the spaceship, and it's very quiet, and he just looks around and goes, "I can't see anything at all." And it's just so It's just such perfect. Like when he just dead ass says,
he's super deadpan. It's perfect. He does such a good job.
I can't see anything at all. It's so good.
And it's like, it'll go over his head. He's like, nothing will go over. My reflexes are too fast.
My reflexes are too fast.
It's fucking great. Fucking solid.
So good.
And James Gunn like wrote that perfectly for him, like
very good
to fit into it. It's perfect. Who would you like to? Famous.
My first
iconic.
and immediate thought when you said it 2 hours ago was I was like, oh, dude, Randy Savage, Forrest Gump, all day.
Oh yeah.
I may not be a smart man, Jenny, but I know what love is.
Oh, no. That's not the line that the first, of course, is the life is like a box.
Hit me right in the buttocks. Life is like a box of chocolates. You gotta snap into it and get whatever you get.
Yeah.
God damn, that's so good.
It's just, that's the only impression I can do, and it's a very quotable movie.
I just kept on running. I just kept running. My mama said they were my magic shoes.
Fuck, that is great. Now I want to see it done. Let's bring back Randy Macho Man Savage from the grave. And let's do that shit, man. That's fucking good. Alex, would you like to promote anything before you go?
Yeah, listen to Mystic Lasagna. My friend Paul and I give people tarot readings with randomly generated Garfield comic strips, and it's just getting weirder.
It's bonkers. It's crazy, and it's super fun. It's a super fun listen.
We did our April Fool's episode with a Kathy comic strip, and that was real strange.
And they can follow you at RLX Murray.
Yeah, follow me at RLX Murray on everything. Also, I promote things when I've released them, Toby, and not before.
Ooh, strategy.
Fuck it. Cthulhu in the Deep South, Book 1 is out. Toby and I recorded the last 2 chapters of Book 2 today. That'll be out next Friday. Look for that. Listen to the first book that I read. Toby's reading the second one, and then I'm going to record the third. And Kirk, who wrote them all, is writing the 4th book. So we're going into a new arc, and it's going to be awesome.
It's fantastic. And you can get the books on
you can
Amazon.
Order them all on Amazon, and
Kindle,
they're great. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Alex Murray. Ladies and gentlemen, closing out the show, a round of applause for Toby Nelson. Toby.
Hello. I ended up having so much more to say than I thought I would. I'm sorry.
Toby, first, do you have an
suplex Davos right there? That was awesome.
Suplex.
Davos going to do a moonsault off the top rope.
Toby, welcome to the show. What is your exposure and experience with professional wrestling before we dive into
I have a podcast called Started from Degrassi, Now We Hear with Adam Suzanne.
and Adam
exposes you to a lot of.
Yeah.
That's my exposure to wrestling. To
Adam
be
is a
perfectly
huge
honest.
wrestling. Adam loves wrestling. Yeah.
I don't know why he's here, not here.
Yeah, is he dead? I'm worried about
He's
him.
probably doing an event.
Yeah.
Perhaps he's going to one of the events for WrestleMania. Perhaps it is something like the one I'm going to, which is SmackDown on Tuesday night at Barclays Center.
You're going to SmackDown? Hell yeah!
Yes,
You're gonna have so much fucking
I know.
fun.
Yeah.
I did not SmackDown, but the level down at Barclays Center a couple years ago, and it's just
Candace Jones is one of my best friends from home, from online. We met on Jezebel a million years ago.
Whoa, okay.
and she's got a couple of extra tickets to this, and she asked
It's
if I
super
wanted
fun.
to go, and so why the fuck would I not go?
I've been to a couple Raws and I've been to an Armageddon. I went to a pay-per-view. I went to WWE Armageddon.
rad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so fun.
I mean, this is going to be free for all of us, so that's fun.
Yeah, that's even better. Going
Give
for
me
free,
money, I'm broke.
extra fun.
Yeah.
Toby, what do you have? You say you have stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah,
Where are we,
for sure.
What are we getting to? I want to dive in. I don't want to take up.
Well, first I wanted to talk about Drax. Because I love
Yes.
Drax.
Yes.
Dave Bautista's great. I looked up the interview where he said that The Rock was a shitty actor. But it's because he himself
took it serious.
He's serious about acting
Yeah.
and being his agent apparently was like, don't take this role in Spectre, the James Bond movie,
Yes.
where you have to speak in a Russian accent. He's like, why? And the agent's like, it'll make you just like stereotyped as a character actor. And he's like, I'm obviously a character actor.
Yeah.
you
He's
know?
a giant man
I'm not
covered
a
in
romantic
tattoos.
lead. I'm
Yeah,
a fucking
exactly.
mutant.
He's a giant man covered in tattoos. He's not going to get
Yeah.
he's
And he's in
like what we were talking about earlier.
Have
it's
you
like
heard about this movie Bushwick?
No. Oh yes, the one where it's like
it's like
apocalyptic things
Yes,
shot
it's a
in
post-apocalypse, and
In Brooklyn.
this militia from Georgia comes up and occupies Bushwick.
Pretty
and he
pissed I wasn't invited
And
to
he
these.
plays one of.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. He plays one of the main villains in it and stuff.
Oh, I
And,
thought he was a hero. I thought he was a good guy.
I thought I'm sorry.
I don't know. But yeah, it's like-
I assume
Depends on what
that's
you
bad
think
of
about
me.
militias, Mike. If
It's
you think
true.
they're the good
It's
guys,
true,
the bad
yes.
guys.
I just assumed that the
No,
militia were the
he
bad
was the
people, and he was in the
protagonist.
militia. He's the protagonist.
I don't know if that means he was in the thing and now
They're
he's
trying
not
to
or
fucking
whatever.
protect everybody's freedoms, Toby.
Yeah.
Militia.
Okay.
All right,
but-
Georgia, settle down.
So
the South shall not rise again.
I know. Oh my God. Alex and I have been he was saying recording the Cthulhu in the Deep South,
Which
thing,
is very
and
Deep
it's-
South.
It's set,
slavery heavy.
Toby pretended to be a slave owner for about 2 hours this afternoon.
It's set in
She got
1861.
paid.
And I said thank you. And my character has come from New England and married a guy who lives in Charleston.
So you had to
and so
pretend.
she's kind of she's trying to be cool. This is how you treat your slaves, and because
Sure. Yeah.
she's like,
well,
this is gross. But
Well,
also,
yeah, there's a lot in it.
Yeah,
I know
there's
you
a
don't
lot
want to
going
give
on.
anything away, but
Yeah,
the
yes, I don't want to give anything away
but also,
because it's amazing.
so you talk about Dave Bautista. That guy,
Yes.
he's in a movie with Jodie Foster. He's doing an
no,
Hotel
I-
Artemis. Is it?
I just read about that.
Yeah, he did a movie with Jodie Foster where he's the second lead.
Yeah,
and then
and
he's
he
done.
was in Spectre.
He was in Spectre.
which is Sam Mendes
Yeah.
directed that.
He was in Blade
love
Runner
this as a good-
2049.
Yeah, he was in Blade Runner. So we worked with Dennis Villeneuve.
He's doing shit.
I like that it seems like he's trying.
He
too.
is.
That's what's up.
it's
The Joseph
important-
Gordon-Levitt move where he was like a kid star.
Yeah, exactly.
And he just disappeared
it's
for 10
important
years
to him
and
to become
went to acting
a
school.
serious actor.
Yeah.
Same thing
You
with
guys talk over to each
Same
other
thing
too
with
much.
McConaughey. McConaughey was like, I'm just getting romantic leads and dumb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Romantic leads and dumb shit, and was like, I want to be taken seriously. And he comes back and he does
he does a time for a kill. A time for what is
he
it?
does Lincoln Lawyer, and then Dallas
Buyers
Buyers
Club.
Club,
He did
and
another-
then True Detective. all in a row.
But wasn't
so, like,
a time
Time to Kill?
Time to Kill?
That's from a long time
That's some
ago.
real good '90s white savior
Yeah, that's
shit.
that's a long
crazy
time
solid
ago.
white savior shit,
Yeah.
but it was a
Yeah.
serious drama for
Oh
the
no,
time.
yeah, but I'm just saying in terms of like his actual career progression.
He's in a movie that
So-
I actually fucking love, and it's super cheesy. And I started reading. I wanted to read the books because no, Sahara.
Oh, Sahara.
Sahara.
I love that
Is it
movie.
good?
It's no, but
It's
I
not
loved it.
good,
It's
no.
fun.
Toby, do you have a favorite? So what more do you got? Let's go.
Okay,
Let's rank. We gotta
okay,
knock
so,
out.
So Drax, the character,
Right.
you know the whole deal with like when I watched like the movie with my nephew who's got Asperger's and stuff,
Right.
and he like narrated and stuff. Drax, the character. Like people on the autism spectrum are attached to that character,
Super identified
because
with it,
he is essentially he's on the spectrum.
Yeah,
because like that's why he says that like he's like,
Crazy little-
oh I like nothing goes over my head. It is
Yeah.
it is too
I am not a
like
princess.
my reflexes are too good. I would catch it. He's like excessively literal, and like the way he talks to that poor gal in Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah, you have to find
He's
someone
like,
who
he's
you're
like,
ugly.
You're so ugly, and she's like, oh, I know you're right. I'm sorry.
Meanwhile,
but he's not
I've-
trying to be nasty.
That
you
must
know,
be
like
so embarrassing for you.
I
Yeah.
know.
Said your
Oh,
deepest
God.
secret to everyone here.
it's so much.
And that scene is especially hard because I have like a mega crush on Pom Clementif, the lady who plays Mantis.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what
God,
she looks
I
like in
it's
real
just-
life, but she looks
oh,
adorable.
She's great.
Vince McMahon wouldn't be into her. What a-
No,
what
right?
a
Yeah,
fucking
apparently he
idiot.
doesn't like Asian women.
Okay,
Yeah.
if he says that out loud, then it means that he really likes Asian women.
Yeah, that means it's a creepy. He knows it's
Yes,
creepy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's in a creepy
What
way.
else you got?
So I wanted to share the fact that The Rock was suggested early on to be Khal Drogo
Oh wow.
in fucking Game of Thrones.
That would have been not good.
Yeah, but actually was in the running, seriously in the running to play Shadow in American Gods.
Oh, interesting.
I would like to real quick retcon. I'd like to cast The Rock as Shadow in that movie.
Homeward Bound.
He's
Thank you.
Is that
Thank
the
you,
one?
Beth
Is
Hill,
that
for going
the dog
there.
that dies?
No, he doesn't die. He makes it.
He makes it. Toby, let's do this. We gotta.
Oh
we
yeah,
gotta-
for sure. So the
Wait,
the,
no. We've got too much
the
to go
thing
to.
I would recast is
Wait.
I would have. Oh no.
Wait, yeah, go recast.
Oh, the thing I would recast is Andre the Giant as Rubius Hagrid.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's way to just not make a joke and like really fix a movie there.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
You fucking
sorry.
nailed it.
Like,
No, it's good.
The rest of us are being assholes, and you're like, no, I got it.
No,
you guys.
like as soon as other people started talking about it, I was like, oh no, this just would have been really good.
Yeah.
Because I really love Andre the Giant. Like
You
he's,
absolutely do.
Yeah, like I like
Yeah.
man.
you know me, and I have all my theories about people and stuff. Andre the Giant, he did once punch a security guy, which I'm
He
sorry for that
deserved
dude, but like he's a good man.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He had a daughter he's very close to. He had a farm that he raised like cows and dogs on. I read this in his thing. He was too big to go shopping.
Yeah.
So he was addicted to QVC. Because he could order things.
Oh, that's
I know,
so sweet.
Can you fucking imagine?
Oh,
like,
yes, Carol, that
also,
looks
he
like
holds the record for the most beers
Yeah.
drank.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
he
Everybody's
drank-
got a Andre the Giant drinking story.
Drinking story.
There's a crazy
156 12-ounce American beers is his record.
There's a whole
How you
thing.
do it.
So one of the things I ended up doing yesterday when I was going through that like YouTube hole of Under the Giant stuff.
Yeah,
was
I know.
There was
I
this
love it.
hour-long video of other wrestlers talking about Under the Giant, and then there was an interview of the cast of Princess Bride,
Yes.
talking about Andre, about how he just he like passed out
The
drunk.
time he passed out and they couldn't move him because
Yeah.
how do you move him? So they had to wait. It was like in the hotel lobby, so they had to wait till the next day when he woke up.
Just
It's
made him
literally
kicking,
nothing
just
any of
kicking
them
him.
could do.
Someone made the joke that they just put like velvet rope around him, so that
It's a VIP area.
yeah.
Oh my god! He's too.
All right, Toby, we gotta
he's
go.
too
We
cute.
gotta move on. The next the
Oh,
mic's
yeah.
starting soon.
But
So,
I love him. So
yeah.
yeah.
You gotta choose between Ready to Rumble and The Predator.
Just do it.
I mean, Predator.
Yeah.
You know me. I love Predators.
That's it. You are siding with the enemy this time. This is very off character.
Oddly
Siding
enough,
with him.
I didn't have any shocking stories about wrestlers that
Except for
are
Chris Benoit.
abusers. Well, no, that's not shocking. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, he straight up
Chris
murders.
Benoit killed his family. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were not aware,
Yeah.
like you know.
Toby, what would you like to promote before you go?
I definitely Cthulhu in the Deep South that we finished today.
That's gonna be great.
It's gonna be you guys. You have no idea how good this shit is gonna be.
Um, Super proud of it.
I know that I'm recording it, that I got paid to record it and stuff like that. But like, if I didn't think that the writing was quality, I would just be like, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
you know,
and you read a ton. So
I read a ton. The writing is really good, and I want to promote the book Inspection by Josh Mallerman that I just read. That is like, oh my god! If anyone wants to read it and talk to me about it, I really want that to happen. And then obviously, started from Degrassi. Now we hear the podcast I have with Adam Suzanne, who I cannot believe was not here.
I
today.
can't believe he wasn't here. Yeah,
It's a tragedy.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Toby Nelson. Thank you, guys. Because we're going to the audience now to make a decision. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are making the final decision. So get back. These are all off. You guys, that mic's off too. Here we go. My round. Hold on. Check. There you go. Okay, everybody. My round of applause. You have to choose between. I'm going to give you the names first, and then we'll do the applause thing. Predator versus Guardians of the Galaxy. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen? A round of applause for Predator. Only one person. A round of applause for Guardians of the Galaxy. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Winning the People's Champ, Guardians of the Galaxy. That's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. You can listen to this at Zeros on Heroes, Zeros on Heroes on all social media. I'm at Mike Mercadal, Mike Mercadal on all social media. Thank you all for listening. Remember to go out and be heroic.